Remodeling. Visit onebathandclosets.com to sign up for a free in-home consultation. That's onebathandclosets.com.
Insurance companies often discourage people from getting an attorney. If I can't get you more, even after our fee, then you owe us nothing, not even our costs. I'm Spencer Callahan. I'd like to help.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
LA 21-12670. Offices in Baton Rouge.
WNXX, Jackson, KNXX, Donaldsonville, and WDGL HD2 Baton Rouge. This hour brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers. LA 21-12681. Offices in Baton Rouge.
Good morning, everybody. It is 7 a.m. on Thursday, August 17th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect sunny skies with a high of 100. Coming up on OTB, we have a new edition of Munchies with Chef Michael Johnson at 9:15. You can follow today's show on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at OTB_ESPN, or catch us on YouTube at the 104.5 ESPN channel and subscribe for daily content. Hour number one of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio, starts now.
Let we go! All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert. Yeah! Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, P, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo.
Yo, what's happening, y'all? Welcome back. OTB, Hour 1. A new show started today, August 17th, 2023. It is Thursday. T-Bob, Jake, Mario, and Taylor hanging out with you today. LSU camp now halfway through. Brian Kelly talking with the media yesterday, giving updates on Denver Harris. Talking about Mason Smith and what he's been dealing with, the advantages of multiple tight ends. Some answers that I think I want to get to here in the first segment of the show. We'll recap some things Kelly had to say. The LSU Zeitgeist continues. We'll get into some of that as we have some new updated numbers in terms of how LSU continues to dominate the space. We got, I got some LSU FSU thoughts. Remember, we already talked about Jared versus Will Campbell. I've been thinking about some more matchups that are going to be coming this way. Here in how long is 17 days? I think I saw the Advocates on like Mo Claiborne right now.
Yep, 17. Because yesterday was, you know what? 18.
Really? Oh, really? Was it?
Yeah.
Which 18 did the Advocate use?
Oh, I don't know.
I mean, there's a lot to choose from.
If Rabs did it, I would say Matt Mock.
That makes sense.
Because I'm pretty sure Rabs wrote a book about jersey numbers, and Matt Mock was 18, as Matt Mock should be, because he is the GOAT. He's the OG.
Yeah, he's
the Godfather.
The OG 18.
Yeah.
We'll get into some Saints Chargers talk, Marshawn Lattimore, Prime, and then we got Munchies coming up in hour 3. I thought maybe we were going to get into some LSU Rush talk. As it's Rush Week, I guess.
Oh, I thought you mean Gordy Rush.
No, it's Rush Week for the LSU sororities. And I watched, I did some research and watched all the videos. And I thought maybe there'd be enough like comedically there to play them and be like, wow, we're old, or this is weird, or this is over the top, and declare a winner. Unfortunately, at the end of the day, it never quite achieved Scratch Your Cats level of
That's why you watched them?
Comedy. See, so y'all have both intimated this. With all the stuff on the internet, you think I'm just watching Rush Talk? Like, you think I'm watching 15, what is this, I'm watching 15-second Vines?
So,
like, what are we talking about?
So you're thinking
guys?
that's outlandish that
yes.
We say that, but if somebody came in, you were watching that, you think it would be more normal for you to be like, hey, I'm just seeing if there's any kind of jokes I can pop off in this video.
No. I'm not saying that it's more normal. No, you're right. You are correct. What I am saying though is no, like that is not, and to be fair, nothing, that's not really the theme that any of the sororities were going for. They were all, you had one that opened with the Zion Williamson jersey, which I like. They were all sports themed.
Okay.
You had kind of a cowboy western themed one, which was probably the best choreographed, actually. Pretty impressive dancing. I can't remember which.
I thought you were going to say because like you were picking up your child from school and the traffic was bad, and that's what got that on your mind.
No, I think that starts today. No, I've been trying to find Brad Kent's spiritual successor, and I don't know. It
Can
just
we
wasn't
play
there.
that today at some point?
What?
Can we play the OG
Yeah,
one at some point today?
we can definitely play Scratch 'em Cats at some point today for those that don't know what we're talking about. So, unfortunately,
Taylor Mario, do you know what we're talking about?
Yeah,
No,
I
okay.
do.
Mario,
Well,
you don't? Okay.
Have you ever seen the guy who like imitates
Yes.
someone? Yeah, he's great.
Yeah, he's good.
So unfortunately, though, I don't know if the Rush Talk segment is going to happen. I don't know that I even came away with a clear winner. So, some rabbit holes you go down and you come out the other side and nothing that interesting happens. YouTube.com/1045 ESPN. If you go to the Bayou Fort chat, hang out, give us your comments, get your Munchies questions in. We have Chef Michael Johnson on in hour 3. Let's dive in to some of the things that Coach Brian Kelly talked about yesterday. First, we'll start with, something that's been in the rumor mill. Here is Kelly 1. Here, Mario. Here is Brian Kelly on Denver Harris and what his status is.
Denver is handling some personal matters. If he takes care of everything, could have him back this weekend.
Okay, I don't know who. I know you didn't cut this, Mario. I don't know who cut this. They left out the most interesting part of the answer, where he says he has to succeed, or he needs to succeed because he has to, right? Basically talking about how, this is his chance, his last chance, if he wants to be able to take advantage of the of the impressive physical tools that he has. So I guess what I'm saying is, I think reading between the lines, I think it's a suspension, maybe a relatively minor one. Whatever, I don't need to get into grading it, but I think it's a suspension. And the bottom line is that Denver Harris controls his fate. He has a path back. He just has to do what the team and the coaches are telling him. And if he does, then he can get back. And you probably need him, because we're going to talk about secondary in a little bit. But you're kind of getting sneaky light if he's out and then you don't have J.K. Johnson at that position group all of a sudden.
I mean, it might not be a suspension. I guess I do understand what you're saying. Like, if you're away from the team, I guess it could be called that. But it almost felt a little bit lighter than that, because when he mentions he could be back this weekend, so he definitely had something. He's like, hey, football second. You got this. You got to go take care of this right now.
That's why we need. Did you hear the whole answer though? That's why we need the second part of this answer though, because it sounded. That's where I'm getting more of the suspension take from. Bring up Kelly.
Who do we need to blame?
Bring up Kelly's press conference.
Moose.
And and it's like the first answer out the gate.
Yeah, it's the first question. It's on 1045's YouTube channel.
Yeah, so bring it up and get it for me in a little bit, and we can circle back around to this and see if what you think about it, Jake. For now, Mario, let's jump to Mason Smith. It's going to be Kelly 4. There's been some concern about Mason Smith lately, been a little dinged up.
He's been banged up a little bit. Nothing that we're overly concerned with. There's no structural damage to any joints or, things of that nature. But look, he's been out for a year, and everything hurts a little bit more after coming back into it. But he had an ankle sprain, nothing that we were really too concerned with, but we're concerned with everything, right? When you have a player of his caliber. So we're going to be careful with him.
So here, Mason Smith is in a position that it's always kind of sucks to be, Jake, where, as he said, you've been out for that long, you have to play your way back into shape and getting your body back used to it. But then it's like kind of you're trying to do this tightrope threading of the needle where, okay, we have to play him to get him back in shape, but then also we don't want to play him too much and get him hurt. It's an awful kind of purgatorial place to be almost.
Yeah, I can't speak to this. You certainly can. I mean, you're someone who has gone through missing time with an ACL injury and then trying to come back. Like, what is that like, trying to almost be perfect, almost go out there not to get injured because you're nervous that you're going to get injured again?
I mean, I don't know. I think the key difference here is that I was not some uber talent, so there was no real need to protect me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but still mentally for you.
No, mentally, but I don't know if that's what he's doing. I'm more talking about how, like, as a coach, how do you manage him right now? Because I can't speak to mentally where he's at. I think it always is. I think it's scary at first. I found that went away, I don't know, like after a week, maybe, right? But again, the difference is I also, Jake, it was like a lot was almost taken off of my plate because I had to practice if I wanted to play and stuff. He doesn't have to practice for them to play him. And I don't, so it just becomes a weird dance of how do we get him ready, but how do we try to protect him as much as we can? And again, it's just, it's a dance that you would have never had to do if you didn't go through getting injured last season. So it's just, it's an awful place. It's just an annoying place to be, I think, as a player. And I'm interested to see how the coaching staff handles it. The ankle sprain, I'm guessing, also not high ankle. Otherwise, it would have been, you'd be hearing more about it be worse.
You would. You'd be hearing about him missing practice. Like, he's still doing some things.
Yeah.
He's just not doing all the things. So, yeah, I mean, it feels like a minor, I want to say anything's a minor ankle sprain because they all suck. But still, if it's a high ankle, we all know that. Gosh, we've taught tightrope procedure on this station for a couple of years, ever since Tua Tagovailoa had it. So that's good that you don't have that situation. But
still a very real procedure too.
You can be safe, you can be slow, you can do all those things with him. You still have some time before the first game. You actually get an extra day. You get a Sunday game, and so just be smart.
Yeah,
that's a player that's going to be disruptive. He's ready to play. Like, he's been out in camp for double-digit days. So just be smart what you do with him, which seems like they are.
Okay, we got the whole answer. Okay, here is the entirety of Kelly's answer on Harris.
Denver is handling some personal matters, and if he takes care of everything, could have him back this weekend.
I got two if I can. Just curious about what Omar Spates brings to this team. Does it?
Wait, where is?
Apparently, that was a whole answer.
What did I? Maybe it's later in the interview. I'll try to find it later. We can circle back around. That's weird.
So this weekend, Saturday, because they're going Monday through Saturday, so 6 straight days of practice, getting after it a little bit. It would be nice if he is coming back to come back for Saturday, because I would assume to cap off a 6-day stretch, they're going to get after it pretty good. You're going to get Sunday off. Saturday's also former player day, so we get a chance to go out there. I'm sure it's going to be lively, a little chippy. Might even be a live drill. Hopefully, there's going to be like some type of something like that, so we get a chance to go out there and watch that. So I'm looking forward to it. But if he can come back this weekend, that would be great, because those are vital reps to be able to be in the stadium, I believe, for the first time this fall. And if you have any kind of situation where you're going like a true team move the ball drill, you want everybody that you possibly can that you're trying to count on right now.
Let's do this. Let's go to break. I got more answers that I want to get to from yesterday's press conference concerning special teams, quarterbacks, edge position, the advantages of multiple tight ends. We got other stuff to get you. Let's break it down next here on OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Get Gordon and get it done. 225-888-8888. Gordon McKernan injury turn as a G team continues to grow. Emory Jones, now a member of the G team. A really great sit down on the Gordon McKernan social media page, just talking about his journey and what's led him to this moment, what he's overcome to get here. Again, it's just really insightful. If you want to learn about your favorite athletes, put some, faces behind the face masks. Come Saturday, you can check out all the sit-downs, the Grub Went G Series interviews, all at Get Gordon on social media. 225-888-8888. Need somebody who's going to fight for you. Get Gordon, get it done.
A bunch of ways to get in contact with them or to find out more information about them. Like T-Bob mentioned, all social media, that handle is at Get Gordon. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. Go to getgordon.com. Great tool, great asset for you. Be able to check out cases they can handle for you. All the information is right there. Getgordon.com. Get Gordon and get it done.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
At Corvell Toyota in Opelousas, you can lease a new Toyota 4Runner for $489 per month. That's right, you can get a brand new Toyota 4Runner for only $489 per month. So come on down to Happy Town. That's Corvell Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
The world's leaders in obesity research, obesity medicine, and obesity science are right here.
We're doing something that no one's ever done, or trying to answer a question that no one's ever asked before.
Pennington is a real jewel when it comes to research.
We are finding the solutions to the world's worst chronic disease, which is obesity. Louisiana needs Pennington Biomedical.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all of that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app.
Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Thursday's AFR, presented by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. Saints joint workouts with the Chargers in L.A. We'll have updates for you. Join us for Thursday's AFR, 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
If I go a million miles away, I'd write a letter each and every day. 'Cause honey, nothing can ever change this love I have for you. Make me weep, and you can make me cry.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
All right, let me correct myself on Harris real quick. That's on me. I had a bit of, I got my wires crossed. The answer that I was thinking was tacked on to the end of the press conference answer was from back in March, when he was talking about Denver Harris has to or needs to succeed because he has to, right? It's his second chance and everything else. So that's on me. So I still think, reading between the lines, you know, whatever. Actually, no, I don't even need to say it. It's maybe it's suspension, maybe it's not. Maybe he's just dealing with something personal. But Denver Harris out potentially back this weekend. But I apologize for steering y'all down an incorrect road. I can't believe that's so weird. That's so crazy. Like, I listened to it, the press conference this morning, like doing like a walk around the neighborhood, and it's like Mandela effect, like you said, Mar. Like, I swore that I heard it there, but no, I actually read it. Okay, Jake, what answer did you want to play here?
Let's go Kelly 3. It's talking about Omar Speights and how he compliments Harold Perkins.
It allows us to move him around, expand, let him get out and leave Harold in a consistent location. Because, look, at the end of the day, if I'm on offense, I want to get Harold out of the action and force him to cover down as much as possible. And Omar gives us that flexibility in answering your question, how it helps Harold, stay in a consistent location, and we can do a lot of things with him.
So one of the things for me, I was thinking, okay, well, if you bring in Omar Spates, again, all-conference linebacker, turn on the tape. If you don't know, you'll be impressed. Okay, you bring him in. Well, he's the guy. Well, he'll solidify the middle, and then Harold Perkins can get creative, and he can be the one that spreads out, does different things, and they still can do some of that. But I love that answer from BK. If you have Harold right in the middle of it, Omar's the guy that kind of moves around. Remember, last year teams would try to get Harold out of the box, and they try to run away from where he was.
Yeah.
If you keep him right there in the middle consistently, he can still do all the things that we talk about, rushing in the A-gaps, mug linebackers. He can walk himself to the edge, and you can do some different things. And then Omar's going to be the guy who actually, Omar Spates is the guy that kind of moves around, and he has the ability to be able to do that.
Yeah,
and
put him in space.
Again, like you couldn't do that with the linebackers that were on this roster before Omar Spates got here. That's why you go and grab him. So I honestly was thinking the complete opposite.
That makes sense.
But it does make a lot of sense to, hey, we know Harold Perkins is going to be right in the middle of our defense, and he is not moving. You are not going to space him out by your game plan. Omar Spates is talented enough to go space out, cover a tight end, cover a back, do whatever he's got to do. And then we've got a consistent number 4 who's going to be right there. And then he can still be the guy that we want him to be, because you can still be creative. And, we're talking about having Major Burns, who's a really good box player. You can walk him down and get creative with what you do with Perk as well. So I love that answer. It is something that I was thinking it was going to be the opposite, but it makes a lot of sense to have Perk right there. You know where he's going to be, and it brings real stability to him being in the middle of defense, because you can't, by formation, get him out of there.
Yeah, and this is the Perk answer, as well as some later ones about who's developing on the edge, kind of got me thinking about something that Emil actually just brought up in the chat, and that who else just agreed with him? Maybe Fonzarelli, but basically saying that I'm starting to become a bit concerned about this LSU secondary maybe going against Florida State, and that gets me thinking about the importance of pass rush and just how much Harold Perkins and Mason Smith and is it Brady Swinson, is it Paris Shand, Ovia Gofi, like whoever's going to be rushing the passer on third down, how much you can help battle against Jordan Travis and those very good receivers. But we'll preview that matchup in a little bit. Give me Kelly 5. This is about the advantages that multiple tight ends will give you.
It allows you to do some things that give you favorable matchups. When you put more than one tight end on the field, it has a tendency to shorten a defensive coordinator's play calls because they become limited in terms of situational substitution. Multiple tight ends give you a lot of opportunities to get matchups. And so we like that. It allows us to play physical as well.
So talking about kind of manipulating, again, like what Jake was just getting at, but offensively multiple tight ends. But the other reason I bring that up is because Kamorian Pimpton continues to have some camp buzz going on, right? And we know Mason Taylor's going to be good and build off what he did last year. But Kelly and Denbrock already in year 1, not afraid to throw a tight end in the deep end. And at 6'6", Pimpton would be maybe especially well-suited to being able to make some plays out there. Apparently, he's had a lot of success in the red zone this fall. So look out potentially for Pimpton. He was one of, so Rabelais did his first half of camp article, gave out his 3 stars. 1 of 3 stars was actually Kamorian Pimpton. What about?
I mean, could not be more different than it was a year ago at camp.
Yeah, true.
You and I went to practice, and Mike Denbrock had 2 guys over there.
Yeah.
He had Taylor and he had Mashburn, and that was the 2 guys that he had over there because it was before the walk-ons got there. I think Taylor was out that day, and I'm like, man, he's got 2 tight ends. That's the offensive coordinator for your football team. He's got 2 guys in his individual position group right now. So it had to be overhauled, and then you overhaul, and you're wondering, can the freshmen step up and play? So it is good to hear that one of the – because you're going to need one of them.
Yeah.
It's good to hear that one of them is stepping up and playing. I mean, last couple of years, you're trying to move Jack Besh and other people to tight end just because you didn't have the numbers.
There was one interesting development. Now, it's not really worth playing the entire bite, so I'm not going to, Jake. But I didn't really remember this guy that much. Do you remember the 2023 class out of Georgia, DJ Chester?
Yeah.
Tackle. Yeah, O-lineman, 6'6", 320. Well, apparently he has done so well. He's now the second-team center. DJ Chester, they moved Marlon Martinez to guard. And Marlon's done well. Like, I've heard good things about Marlon. But Chester, which sounds crazy to be 6'6" and playing center, but as a true freshman, 6'6", whatever, he's impressed his team enough where he is now the second-team center.
That's a tall center.
That's a tall center. That's a young center.
It is.
I mean, think about that. Making the calls when you're 18 years old, trying to make sure that group that has upperclassmen on it are all on the same page. Like, that's a guy that has a lot of potential right there. So I don't see I don't know how much we see Chester this year, but like long-term tracking, just store this one away because that seems like that speaks to a guy that could be very, very good down the road.
Man, it's a unit that is really set up for success. You got two true sophomore tackles that they'll be back for another season. I mean, you've got Hurd, who feels like he, could play if he had to play as a freshman coming in, and you start talking about somebody that can play center. I mean, you basically feel like you have your offensive line next season as well.
Yeah. Yes, yeah. And again, if Chester's already pushing, like, he could end up being one of those elite guys, maybe potentially. Here's Kelly 11. I think this is the one that I'm looking for on special teams. We'll see.
Special teams, I think, is making really good progress. We saw our kicking game yesterday. I was pleased with that. Ramos and Dibert will both be active in the kicking game. Jay obviously is doing a great job with punting. And Aaron Anderson is really as comfortable of a punt returner that I have seen. We got some work to do on kickoff return in terms of where that's going to be. But he's back there too, Aaron. And we'll see where that goes. We're going to spend a little bit more time on that in the next couple of days.
Aaron Anderson's very exciting. Sage Ryan called him maybe the hardest guy to cover on the team. Here's the answer I was looking for.
Hold on, can I speak on that real quick? The kickoff return being behind the punt return is okay with me. Kickoff return has almost been taken out of football. So that doesn't, like, you're going to have it kicked out of bounds. You're going to catch it in the end zone. You're going to fair catch it. That does not worry me that spot's behind because it's really barely a football play anymore. Would you like to have some returns? Yes, you would. Would you like to never have what happened against Tennessee happen to you again? Yes, you would. So you want to get better on it. I'm not saying that, but I would much rather hear the punt return game is ahead of the kickoff return game because punt return was horrid last year. It was as bad could be. It was one of the worst in the country. Like, you never felt like, one, you were just glad that they caught the punt. Two, you never felt like they had any threat to return the punt, right? You were searching for that returner. It cost you a couple of times last year. You're too talented of a team, and we heard BK say that last year, to not have someone back there that you should have to worry about. So that, to me, is music to my ears, the fact that you feel like you've got not only a guy that can return it, but when you start saying maybe the guy to be the most comfortable I've ever seen back there, that's a deep breath of, okay, we're good. Take a deep breath. We're good because it was so bad last year. Now you don't have to hold your breath hoping that the kick's just caught.
Also, 5'8" with that speed is kind of my perfect little kick returner, or punt returner especially, dude. Just kind of hiding out, sneaking around, bebopping all around like a little like a dragonfly. You know the dragonfly is the fastest insect flying? Bet you didn't. Remember that?
Is it really?
I
feel like they're so big, they're easy to
Think about how fast, but think about how fast the dragonfly. Think about how fast the dragonfly moves when you see it. When you see it really getting.
Maybe it's because I'm allergic to every other thing that usually flies with a stinger. So maybe because I'm moving so fast as well that it feels like it's faster.
Here's one that I was also looking for on special teams. This is Kelly 13.
I think we had a pretty frank conversation with our guys about what the NFL rosters look like. I mean, for these guys to make these rosters. I'll just give you an example from the a fourth round pick or later, it's about a 20% chance of making a roster. So you better have more in your resume than just being a positional player. You better play special teams as well. So we're just trying to be transparent with our guys and let them know that, this is what it looks like. Look, if you're a bona fide first round draft pick, special teams doesn't necessarily need to be on your resume. But we don't have 5 first-round draft picks. We got a lot of really good football players, but they need to enhance their resumes.
Hell yeah.
Dude, there's a lot to love about this answer. That was an answer. That was in response to a question about starters playing special teams. And the 4th-round thing, if you break it down, it's not intentionally misleading. It's maybe a little bit in that he says 4th round on, you got a 20%. It's not that 4th round has a 20% chance, right? 4th round would probably more like 50? Maybe like 60. But maybe I just mean 50, that because 50. When you're getting like UDFAs, it's probably down to like 5 or something, right? So it's gonna like drag it. But the point is, it's almost like you're applying for college, acceptance, and you need extracurriculars on your resume. Kelly being very honest with these guys. Look, if you're not a bona fide first rounder, like he said, this will improve your NFL stock. And I think that's an excellent technique to get kids and starters to buy into doing what they need to do on special teams.
You have to do it. Like, it has to be something. And I love what he says, like, hey, we don't have 5 first rounders. We got some really good football players. So yeah, there's a handful of guys that don't have to do this. But if you want to go out there, go ahead and start to build that resume, because like when you get drafted in the 3rd, 4th, 5th round, like I've heard some of these meetings. It's like, okay, 3rd, 4th, 5th round, we're deciding between these 3 guys. Hey, what's his team's history? They'll always ask it. What's his team's history? Can he go cover a kick? Can he play for us on punt? And that can be the deciding factor between where you get drafted. So yeah, go ahead, start that today. It makes your college team better. It helps you out for future success. So when you get to the NFL, it's not like, oh my gosh, like I've never done this before. And some people assume that, oh, it's easy. I'm an All-American. I can block on punt. Yeah, well, you don't have Ed Reed, who's got that cockeyed leg that's coming at you with bad intentions, okay? So you think you can do it, and it seems easy, but if you haven't done it and you've got a guy like that coming towards you and you've got to block him, it is a whole different ball game. So, yeah, I love that answer. I love everything about that answer, and hopefully they take that in and realize, because some people have to humble themselves a little bit to do that.
Yes.
Right? Now, there's some that don't. Yeah. Like Craig Stelz is a 4th-round pick. Craig played 7 or 8 years in the NFL, was a All-American safety, but he was a war daddy.
War daddy first and foremost. No, and, it's kind of funny, man. It's one of the interesting quirks about football is it's an advantage almost completely denied to offensive linemen. You know what I'm saying? Like, field goal protection really is a plug-and-play position. Like, you don't have to actually have film on it. It's like you can't go cover kicks. So you better just be a dog if you're a no lineman, because you ain't making it because of special teams, unfortunately. Maybe if you can deep snap a little bit.
Like in my 5 or 6 years, like 2 or 3, undersized, well-built, but undersized for offensive linemen, but were trying to make it, they would try everything they could. Coach, I can play R5. I can play R5. I can run down there. And we had one guy, shout out to him, Ben Garland, played at Air Force, started his pro career like as a defensive lineman, and then just was undersized but worked like hell. He was on every teams. And he found himself to be a starting center in the NFL for like 5 years.
Wow.
He just kept working, moved positions, and found a way. But that's the only story like that I have.
Breaking, just doing something that I've never heard of before. All right, look, I want to talk some FSU, LSU, kind of that matchup that Chat was talking about earlier. How worried should you be about the LSU secondary going against its FSU receiving corps, which looks vastly different from last season? Also, the Dragonfly is actually the strongest flyer in the insect world. It flies 22 to 34 miles an hour when it's reaching top speed, bro.
22 to 34?
22 to 34.
Yeah, that feels like a large range. It's like the 22, you're lazy.
Yeah, well, I mean,
maybe a little husky.
Well, I mean, bro, you're still as fast as like the fastest players in the NFL.
Right, but maybe a little husky, because if I'm hitting 32 and you're going 22, 34. I'm clowning you. I know, 34. I'm just trying to get it like, not the top end speed. But
they also they have an average cruising speed of 10 miles an hour. Shout out Dragonflies.
10 miles an hour, just chilling.
Yeah. I despise Dragonflies. They don't respect personal space.
Dragonflies are awesome, dude.
I'll be outside.
They're super strong and fast. They don't hurt you.
Yeah, I don't mind. I mean, like Jake said, all those insects out there with a stinger, Dragonfly ain't one of them. I can handle the Dragonfly.
Dragons. They're sick.
They're annoying.
And they're quite beautiful.
Yeah, they could be a bunch of different colors, like you said, like a green, a blue.
Talk like it's a butterfly. No, it's not.
Yeah, I think a dragonfly's not that far off from a butterfly. I think it's way more badass than a butterfly, obviously.
It's ugly. Disagree.
I love the dragonfly ships that they have in Dune, where they basically just perfectly mimic dragonflies. Which, if you could, think about if you could move a helicopter like a dragonfly moves. Like, that would be ideal design. Like, that would be like something that we don't have at all. The change of direction on a dragonfly is unbelievable.
The lateral movement
that's what I'm saying. It's unbelievable.
Super impressive.
So
I mean, they also eat
that.
flies and mosquitoes.
Mar, you got to rethink this dragonfly take. This is an awful take. Dragonflies are awesome.
No.
And super fast.
And now Taylor respects lateral movement, but not when it comes to quarterbacks.
All right, when we get back, let's talk about LSU, FSU. Keep it locked on TV.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to All-Star Toyota, allstartoyotabatonrouge.com, allstartoyotabatonrouge.com. Go there today and see what they can offer you, man. Okay, whether you're looking to buy new, maybe a Toyota certified used vehicle, or you still get that excellent warranty. Maybe you just want to rent a vehicle. It's also a great way to kind of, okay, like let's say you're thinking about getting a Tundra or a Sienna. What if you rent one first, right? Like, they got cheaper per day rental prices than traditional rental companies most of the time. So what are you waiting for? Okay, all of your vehicular answers for you, your family, from a price, quality, and selection standpoint. It's all off of Airline Highway at All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge.
You can buy new, you can lease, and you can rent, whatever you're looking for. They are the answer over at All-Star Toyota. So if you're looking to buy new and customize it, remember you can do it right there on the homepage of the website. If you're looking to lease, got all the information there as well. And the per-day rental prices are on that website. The full fleet is available, like always, allstartoyotabatonrouge.com.
Ooh, dude.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Hi, I'm Brandon Landry, founder and CEO of Walk.
Hi, my name is Dr. Craig Green.
This is Ryan Terrio with HUDCORoofing.com.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. No matter how big your commercial roofing job, HUDCO can help.
My patients come to me because they trust that I can get the job done at a high level. Ryan Terrio and Richard Tilley have the same level of trust when it comes to roofing.
If you have a roofing issue, call HUDCO Roofing.
Give us a call, 364-1007, and we'll come to your house and give you a free inspection.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Oh, hey, what's up? It's Big D and Bubba, 100.7 The Tiger Morning Show. We'd love for you to join us every weekday, 4 a.m. till 9 a.m.
Yeah, everything you want in a show. Country music. We got laughs. We got celebrity in-studio guests. We just need you.
Join us every weekday morning, 4 a.m. to 9 a.m., right where it all started.
That's right. Louisiana's country station, 100.7 The Tiger.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m.
Charles Sandgriff joined me and Jimmy out for the next edition of Live at Lunch from Louis Cafe just outside the gates of LSU. Dwayne Colucci's with us, Matt Humans is with us, and Jacques Doucet from WAFB. Live at Lunch, 11 a.m. weekdays on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Welcome back, OTB. So the Dragonfly hole continues to be impressive. Some reports will tell you 60 miles an hour. That is not true. Okay, 30 to 35 seems to be what we're getting. But more importantly, we have to appreciate what 30 to 35 is for a Dragonfly. As I read something that blew my mind, a Dragonfly can cover, when it's cruising at the top speed, 100 body lengths in a second. 100 body lengths in a second. Now think about that. For a 6-foot-tall human, that's 600 feet covered in a second. That's crazy. That's basically instant transmission. I mean, that's teleportation at that point. Imagine if you were a punt returner, you caught the ball, and within 1 second, you could travel 300 yards.
Be nice.
Excuse me, 200 yards.
Either way, I'll take either.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
I'll take 100.
Daniel Basham, are we doing an insect tier list? It's not a bad idea. I would love to do an insect tier list tomorrow.
Anything with a stinger? D.
Shoebank says, Dragonflies good people. Bees are just hard workers that take their right to personal defense seriously. Wasps are agents of death and chaos. Yeah, I would agree with that.
Screw wasps.
Yeah, wasps suck. Where do hornets fall?
It's similar to the wasps category, I think, right?
Yeah, I feel like it leans more towards wasps, just with a little bit of bee coloring to try to trick us into liking. But, like, do hornets pollinate? Because, like, what do wasps do? Do wasps actually add anything to the ecosystem? What is their role?
I don't think so. They're just pests.
I don't think so either. Just to piss me off. Yeah, so what's the deal then? How'd they even develop? Like, how do you even evolve to just be a nuisance?
Just be a tyrant.
Just a troll. A little poisonous, little stinging troll. Son of a gun. I will say this. Very few feelings as satisfying as hitting a wasp with that thick white Raid spray. The jets out, you know what I'm talking about? It's like, sniper. Like driving a 50 cal or dropping like a Predator missile on it.
It's the best.
I mean, sometimes I like a good old, just give me a rag. Hey, go give me a rag, Bo. And just swat that thing.
Or a broom. It'll work.
Nah, broom that a rag, you feel like I'm in full control here, and you can come and feel the whip. You feel like Indiana Jones a little bit.
Smashing it, right?
I got him. I'm whipping him.
No way, dude.
Like I'm Indiana Jones out
Bruce
there.
Lee? Yeah, there's no way that you are on site whip cracking a wasp.
Listen, when someone is deathly allergic to it, you have practice.
No, I know. But see, that's my problem. Is that seems like the most dangerous way to handle if you're deathly allergic. Like the miss rate on a towel pop seems very high, and then you got a pissed off wasp trying to kill you.
You just got to have belief.
I feel like he's taking this like really serious. Like Jake woke up at like 10 years old at 5 a.m. and was like, all right, practice time.
There's a lot
like he would just walk around house popping
when
stuff.
When I figured out how allergic I was all right, there ain't no games here. We're training for this.
Absolutely.
Bo Wilson said hornets and wasps both pollinate, so we're gonna have to try to figure this out. We'll do some more research. Real quick, here's Brian Kelly talking about the defensive end position.
At the jack position, Obviously you mentioned Ovi, but Swinson's done a really nice job on third downs for us. He's been a real good pass rusher for us, and I think the combination of those two guys has been really nice for us. We like what we see there. Parashand is coming on as a complement to Savion. Savion's been outstanding. So we like the edges in terms of what is moving forward. Some of the young players are coming on, Womack, Wiggins, they're making progress.
So it sounds like Braden Swinson, maybe in terms of from a pass rushing standpoint, maybe going to be first guy up on third down at the jack position. I love hearing Savion's been outstanding. That's somebody that we said we think is going to be a breakout player this year. But Jake, the hole that this led me down was thinking about pass rush and how this LSU secondary with Denver Harris out, with J.K. Johnson out, it's looking a little susceptible. I mean, you already got question marks. You got a true freshman that's repping with the ones at times in Ashton Stamps, which maybe ends up being awesome, right? But these are all potential red flags. And then you look, and Mike Norvell has done a hell of a job building out this FSU receiving core. We already know about Johnny Wilson. We talked about him in the Fricks list. 6'7" last year, had 43 catches, 897 yards, 5 touchdowns as a sophomore. They went and got Keon Coleman, who was Michigan State's leading receiver last year. 59 catches, 798 yards, 7 touchdowns as a sophomore. And then they also got for their slot Winston Wright Jr., transferred him from WVU. 2 years ago, as a sophomore, he missed last year with injury, but 2 years ago, he was WVU's leading receiver with 63 catches, 688, and 5 touchdowns. So, to me, they get Jaheim Bell from South Carolina as well, who doesn't have any stats really to get too excited about, but I know that they
he's
really
a jack of all
in.
trades type guy.
Yes.
Like maybe not going to impress you, but the totality of what he can do will.
Yeah, he had like 70-something carries, and he's a tight end. But I guess the point of it is you have Jordan Travis, who I believe is a top 10 quarterback in the country, an elite quarterback, and those are damn good weapons to him to throw to. So, like, this secondary, there ain't no easing in. Like, you got to – and so with all of that, guys like Swinson, Perkins, that front seven being able to disrupt Travis may actually be your best path to coverage.
It's a great point because we know, and everyone that watches football at a high level knows, that if you get after the quarterback, make him uncomfortable, get him off his marker, then your defensive backs don't have to be as good. They don't have to hold up as long. And so you're looking forward to it. And, I mean, going back to the first conversation we had about Harold Perkins and placing him in different spots, like he has to be disruptive in this game. He has got to be somebody that at the end of the game we're like, man, did you see 4 tonight? I feel like that feels like that's got to be his type of game. Now, he doesn't have to go full Arkansas where he kind of won the game by himself, but he just has to have a really impactful, disruptive game. But you mentioned Swinson, and catching up with our guy Jack Marucci, analytics, sports science of all of it, he said he's got the fastest get off of any edge rusher, and said like it's close to like elite numbers when I was talking to him on Saturday. So that's good. Those things are good to hear. It's good to hear that a guy that you bring in like that is kind of integrating himself well into the team, and the numbers are kind of backing that up.
And then Ovia Gofu was mentioned as well as playing well, and so he'd be behind. So the fastest get off though on the team?
Rushers.
Yeah, for the pass rushers?
Yeah.
Okay. Shout out Braden Swinson, man.
Which, as you know, is an offensive lineman. I mean, that's half the things that terrify you.
Yeah.
How fast can they get off the ball?
No, I mean, look, I could never play tackle. But
it's all a clock, right? It's all a clock. The guy can have the best.
On the island and you see that guy.
Yeah, look, the times I've been on an island, no, it's not
the worst.
Not fun at all. But obviously, get off is important because the quarterback has a get off time. And if a guy's not as fast off the ball, I don't have to hold up as long.
Yeah.
Look, I was never the person that was like, you watch it on tape and it like looks like clinic tape. I didn't care about clinic tape. I just wanted him not to touch the quarterback. I didn't care how it looked. I didn't care if I looked bad. I didn't care if I looked like Vlade Divac out there. I just wanted him not to touch the quarterback.
All right, when we get back, let's wrap up hour 1 of OTB.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Community Steel, y'all. Community Steel. Look, are you a roofer, a contractor, somebody who has any steel fabrication needs? Keep it local, okay? Here at OTB, we are local, right? We love celebrating local companies, and Community Steel separates. They're the only local fab shop here. They're in Gonzales. It's a massive, massive building. They can handle all of your steel creation needs. And again, in keeping with the local theme, unlike dealing with national companies. You're not just ordering through a website. You're not just ordering through robots. They have a live and local, boots on the ground, actual humans who live here sales team that will answer the phone and help you get exactly what you need. So whether it's for business, personal use, whatever, there's only one answer for your steel needs, and it's Community Steel.
Yeah, we're not giving you a 1-800 number. You're not going to call somebody that's not here. We're giving you a 225 number. That person is here. When they answer the phone, they are local. They know what you need. They're going to help your needs get met. Call that number today, 225-647-2020.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com. Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust Poll of the Day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, live at lunch, Hunt Palmer. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the Poll of the Day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
Hello, Samantha, dear, I hope you're feeling fine. And it won't be long until I'm with you all the time. But until then, I spend my money up right down on my last dime. Come on, in Baton Rouge. I'm ready, what you put me on through. Gotta send my love down to
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all of that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Join me for a Thursday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show, presented by Rouse's. We'll chat with Luke Johnson out in La La Land with the Saints. Hunt Palmer Show, 1 to 3 weekdays, 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Closing out hour 1 of OTB. Prayers up for Russell Gage. So also on ESPN yesterday. Awful news for Gage. This was yesterday afternoon. I'm not sure if they have, or last night it was. I'm not sure if they've updated the story into what it's going to be, but in a joint practice yesterday, he went down, got carted off. They don't know I don't think there's been. I haven't seen a report on what exactly the injury is, but it was bad to the point, Jake, he left in tears where they're already saying he's out for the season.
Yeah, I think I saw it.
Saying we hear it's going to be pretty serious. So wait until I hear the final result.
I think I saw it on the bottom line yesterday. I was doing the show and had ESPN in the background, and I saw Russell Gage, and it didn't say what it was, but it says apparent season-ending injury. And that was pretty early in the day yesterday. So it must have been incredibly bad for them to be like, it's out.
So it sucks, man. Somebody who's worked his ass off, gotten better and better in the NFL. Last year starts 13 games, 51 catches, 5 touchdowns last year. Played in 13 games, had 4 starts, though. But like somebody who nobody thought about him leaving college. Better and better. Looked like he was going to be one of the starting 3 receivers for Tampa this year. And now going to be out and this comes off of leaving, ending last season, getting a concussion in the playoff game, leaving that. So it's just been a rough go for our guy who used to just jump over people at a rate that I've never seen before when he had the ball in his hand. Another kind of interesting, maybe somewhat LSU knock-on effect. Who's it open the door for? Trey Palmer, a man that we love on this show because not only is he a former Tiger, but a bona fide member of the Corn Hub as well. So be interested to see what Trey Palmer does.
He reached, I think, the top recorded speed in the NFL over the last couple of years yesterday.
What?
I think he got up to 24.
So how come he couldn't make it here?
It's not that he didn't have the opportunities. He happened to be behind 2 receivers that might be the 2 best in the NFL.
That's true.
As a returner, I loved him. I loved him as a returner. I wish he would have had more opportunities there as well. He's somebody I covered at Kentwood in the state championship games. He's always been that guy.
Yeah. Still, we'll see what he can do in the league now. Prayers to Russell.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Agatimba, Baton Rouge. I don't even know if we need any Agatimba anymore, boys. I mean, it feels incredible outside. The scooch remained this morning.
The scooch was like 2 full, what do you call them? You say dollops?
Dollops, yes. Yeah. Yes, exactly. 2 full dollops of fall teases, for sure. But we all know it's not going to last. False fall season is here. And the bottom line is that whether it's AC or heating for, those couple weeks, you want to make sure that your system's running how it needs to. And with Agatemp, you get the best customer service, the best prices, the best people coming into your home, the best process, and the best results. Agatemp Baton Rouge, AgaTempBR.com.
Yes, Champ points out 104, 107. I don't know if that's actually factual because he does a lot of trolling, but it's going to be in the hundreds again. So make sure that you go check out AgaTempBR.com because you want that AC working like it's supposed to be working at its peak performance. AgaTempBR.com.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $12,000 off MSRP on new 23 Ram 1500 trucks, all with Bayou's 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
Was a humid day, barefoot children play, looking for that summer shade. Time just slips away. Oh, Louisiana, some kind of hold on me. Like cypress stumps, your roots are planted deep inside of me.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
Good morning, everybody. It is 8 a.m. on Thursday, August 17th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect sunny skies with a high of 100. Coming up on OTB, we have a new edition of Munchies with Chef Michael Johnson at 9:15. You can follow today's show on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at OTB_ESPN, or catch us on YouTube at the 104.5 ESPN channel and subscribe for daily content. Hour number 2 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio, starts now.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, P, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo.
Yo, what's going on, yo? Welcome back to OTB. Jake, we didn't really get to expound on it too much. Hour 2 of Off the Bench. We're going to talk some preseason football, maybe some more bug talk. I need to do more research into the Wasp. I've not been doing the commercial breaks. I apologize. Shout out to Richie Mercer, who tweeted me a really cool picture of his Dragonfly tattoo that he has. Pretty sick, bro. Jared Wrinkles says Mario was obviously victimized by a swarm of dragonflies. Mario, is this true? Have you had a negative interaction with a dragonfly?
Yeah, they're actually really bad in the front yard of my apartment.
And so they just get in your grill.
Yes, like I'll be taking a walk or walking to my car or something, and I'll turn my head, and there will be one literally like on my face.
Just saying what's up.
I guess.
Maybe just hollering at you, dude.
They just don't respect personal space.
B Messy links me Braconid wasps, which apparently do not sting human beings and are a highly helpful, as he hits me with the SpongeBob, capital lowercase font saying, do wasps have any benefits? Okay, well, relax. Because the Braconid wasp is not what I'm talking about. Even though actually...
I hate wasps, but I don't really care.
But what if it doesn't sting humans?
I don't care.
Look, but you would kill this thing, right?
Yeah, on site.
It's getting got.
On site.
God, that's.
I don't know the difference, buddy.
Okay, but like that sucks to be a Braconid at that point.
I hate that for you.
Because you didn't do anything.
What is it? The guilty by association kind of?
Well, I mean, just look. I can't take that chance, man. I cannot take that chance. I don't know the bugs that well. Is that on me? It is, but I don't care.
Yeah. What are you, racist towards wasps? You can't tell one wasp for another. What's wrong with you?
Waspists.
I don't think. I don't think a wasp has a race. I don't think that's it.
Yeah. I don't know what it be. Well, yeah. I mean, obviously, I don't know. Okay. I think. So it looks like Braconidae. That's technically, if we're going to get scientific with it, that's in the family category. So yes, they do not have races. They have domains, kingdoms, phylums, class, orders, superfamilies, and families. Yeah, sorry, Brad.
All right.
It's tough life.
Yeah, it is. It is tough in these streets. One cool thing that I saw to get away from the bug talk, unless you have something else.
No, I was
Not
going to
yet.
ask you about FSU's receivers, or we can go to the ESPN article. I don't care.
We can. One cool thing I saw, so it's the Little League World Series going on right now, and they were flashing like favorite players, and it's going across screen, and there was a player for Team Japan. Do you know who he said his favorite player was?
Chipper Jones.
Okay, any guesses?
Ooh, it's got to be somebody super random if you're bringing
Team
it up.
Japan.
Is it a baseball player?
Yes, he's a baseball player.
Ichiro.
Prince Fielder.
Oh.
Ooh, that's a good one. I'll go, I don't know, Mike Trout.
Paul Skeens.
Oh, wow. He's a
Team
pitcher.
Japan.
Hell yeah.
They said, who's your favorite player? And he said Paul Skeens.
I didn't watch much of him, but I saw.
That's crazy. Like, to think of that reach of and I know Paul was just the #1 overall pick, but still.
Yeah, he hasn't.
Like, not a lot of people
Major
watch
League game
college
yet.
baseball. I mean, we're obsessed with it here.
At the risk of going full TMZ, Bob, is it confirmed? Are Paul Skeens and Livy Dunn dating, or is that just rumors?
I think that got confirmed recently, but everybody
I mean,
knew.
someone confirmed it. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know if either of them have publicly came out and said it.
You're
but
our
like,
youth correspondent, Taylor. I need you to be more on top of these
there's
issues.
hints. Like, apparently Olivia Dunn was
You
like,
haven't seen a TikTok breaking it all down?
apparently there was Olivia Dunn posted on social media the other day, like a picture at a minor league game, and it was like a game that Skeens was pitching in and that type of thing. It's like, look,
okay.
Maybe she just likes
minor league
single-A
baseball, sure, but like you're not going to go out of your way to go to a minor league game, I wouldn't think.
Hell no. You
Unless
don't need,
there's
you don't need
something
to
going
tiptoe
on.
around
Yeah.
that. Nobody's going
Unless
to a
there's
random,
something going
no one's
on.
going to a random
That's
minor
what I'm
league
saying,
game
like, out of
unless
state.
Ronnie Rance is browbeating you and you go, nah, we're a very good time. It really is a very good time. And it's not exactly minor league. It's more in the Savannah Bananas type of classification, I would say. Okay, I'm going to take that as potential confirmation. So just to say, power couple, first off. Shout out to both. And shout out to Paulie Skeens. Just the incredible transfer year continues.
Man, so
will not stop.
He never called that kid's mom.
No. Would you?
Well, I
though,
mean, we don't
if you
know.
were
He
dating
could
Olivia?
have.
But
maybe
they
it just didn't
needed him,
work out.
though. Remember,
yeah, he needed, bro.
we
I
need you.
We need you. Come on, dog. I saw Skeens striking out people in the minors the other day, though, and looking exactly how Paul Skeens has looked the entire time.
He's really good at baseball.
Badass.
The bet. I mean, I love just like when he just flips it, like you know what that means, by the way. Like when I'm saying it, just
Wait, the what?
He
Yeah,
strikes out.
the
F outta
little
here.
lazy ring
Yeah,
him up,
F outta
like
here.
get out of here. Speaking of Livy Dunn, Jake, you sent this to the group yesterday. On3 has recalculated their new women's top 10 for their NIL evaluation, and the LSU zeitgeist continues. Livy Dunn, being a social media phenom, remains with a massive lead over her classmate, Angel Reese. Livy Dunn, #1 overall, valuation of $3.4 million. But Angel Reese, continuing her own Skeens-like Cinderella year, is now up to $1.4 million. Then you have Suni Lee from Auburn, of course, the Olympic gold medalist at 1.3. And then once again, you're back at LSU with Flau'jae Johnson at $801,000. So you've got, and then later on, you got Haley Van Lith at 8th. So you've got 3 of the top 4, 4 of the top 10. You've got the top 2, and you've got 2 of the 3 millionaires on the list.
you've got half of the top 8.
Yeah, half the top 8. That's a good, better way of saying
a
it.
good way to say it. You have half of the top 8 in NIL. That to me, like, yes, it's fantastic for women's athletics, but I think it goes across like you don't have to put just women's athletics. I mean, that is great for all sports and great for LSU as a whole.
Yeah.
The fact that you've got that. And when I talk to people about LSU's, no matter what it is, no matter which sport we're talking about, they're like, man, LSU puts so much time and resources and effort into women's athletics. I'm like, yeah, look, when you drive across town, like you see billboards, a lot of times it's women's athletes, that are on those billboards. And so it is great, but I think it's just in general, I think they're doing massive things. You could put the top earning men's athletes in there, and it really would not change that much.
Yeah, true. There's
Livy would be 3 if I'm not mistaken.
Bronny, who would be 1, and then what about old boy that we talked about yesterday? What was his name?
Emmanuel Hansel.
Yeah, Hansel. So hot right now. Would he be ahead of Livy?
I don't know. It was
Hang
a million.
on, let's pull it up right now.
I remember it being like 1 point something million.
The other thing is, in terms of the women's sports, while again, I think there's been a ton of women's sports that are
Livy's still 2.
Yeah.
Because if you can make if you can get a social media following and whatever, but it does appear that basketball is actually the biggest winner here. 7 of the top 10, Jake, coming from the basketball world, and 3 gymnasts as well. So just kind of interesting numbers. Also, shout out Angel Reese, who was named one of Harper Bazaar's icons for 2023. Harper Bazaar chooses 14 people who are helping, quote, shift narratives, open doors, and reshape the culture. And Angel Reese, already one of them. Unreal.
If we added all athletes, you would have Livy Dunn still coming in at number 2, Angel Reese coming in at number 6, and Flage coming in at number 21. Flage ahead of Blake Corum, Michael Penix Jr., Spencer Rattler, Quinshawn Junkins.
Blake Corum's kind of interesting. You think a running back at Michigan would maybe who's ahead of Blake Corum, you said?
Flage.
Yeah, no, I mean, I guess it makes sense. So Flage is bigger. social
She's
media
got
following.
1.6 million followers on Instagram. Blake has 110,000.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. She's got a way bigger social media following. So that makes all the sense in the world, actually. Ryan Moontain, that quote on Denver was cited by Musso from the original announcement when Denver transferred to LSU. Yes, I apologize. If you're listening early on in the show, I screwed up the first segment. I tried to immediately correct myself. Second segment, I Mandela affected myself, unfortunately. Greg Lamont and Paul Skeen says you can't pull that in the MLB. Can you do? I mean, what do you think? I don't know. You know the unwritten rules of baseball better than me. Would they get mad at his hand gestures?
Scherzer does something like that. So you strike him out, you can do.
So you just got to be as good as Max Scherzer, and then you do whatever the hell you want. I agree.
Yeah. Scherzer got mad the other day because the batter had 2 strikes, and the batter got a pitch count or whatever they call the clock violation, and so he struck out because you get a strike if you're not in the box, you're ready to go. Like the pitcher can also. He can get a violation as well. And so it was strike 3, and he was pissed. He's like, what are we doing here? And he's the pitcher. He's mad. He's like, this is stupid.
Still, that's actually been probably the best thing that's happened in baseball this year.
Oh, it's much quicker.
All right, let's do this. Let's go to break. When we get back, let's talk a little preseason. Actually, let's get into the ESPN piece, Jake, and we can talk Saints-Chargers a bit later on as your Bolts and the boys' Hoodats are going to be scrimmaging over the next couple of days, going toe-to-toe.
Already have.
Oh, did they start yesterday? I know they're scrimmaging today and tomorrow.
I'm sure they already, because you play on Saturday, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. They
play on Saturday. Then what's today? Thursday? No, so it's yesterday and today.
They play on Sunday.
Oh, they play on Sunday.
Play on Sunday?
Yeah. But I know I think they start practice today.
So if they practice, what's today? So today's Thursday.
Yeah.
Ooh, I don't know. Can you get after it Thursday and Friday? I guess if you're starters, but there's only 3 preseason games. Did they not do something yesterday?
I could have my dates wrong. Because I don't know the article. We'll double check.
I trust you when it comes to Saints.
Let's go to I don't know.
That's the kid that said Paul Skeens was his favorite player. Look at him.
Right there?
Look at him out there. Oh, dropping, pulling the string.
Now he just needs to get a little bit of that finger swag going.
Yeah.
Look at him hold that leg up there. I thought I was about to call a strike. All right, when we get back, more on TV.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Hey now, join All-Star Toyota off of Airline Highway. All-Star Toyota, BatonRouge.com, your one-stop new vehicle shop. And I mean new to you. It could be a Toyota certified used vehicle where you still get that excellent warranty coverage, which is so nice because basically your car says, hey, it's time to get service. And depending on the level of warranty you choose, a lot of times you won't even have to open your wallet. You just bring it in. They make sure you're good to go. They update you with text throughout the process. They'll actually drive you home, drop you off, pick you back up. It's a customer service that is unparalleled. And that's everything. It's not just a service department, right? It's a sales team getting you and your family exactly what you need. It's the pricing. It's everything. It's the best. We love them here on OTB. If you love OTB, you love All-Star. All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge.
Go check out the rentals. We tell you about them every single day. The full fleet is available no matter what you need. Something bigger, something smaller, something better on gas mileage, whatever it might be for your trip or just a couple of days. You can find that at allstartoyotaofbatonrouge.com.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $12,000 off MSRP on new 23 Ram 1500 trucks, all with Bayou's 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Scooncha, fall in the air. Fall is right around the corner, which means fall fishing is, which means it's time for you to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service in a bunch of different ways. You want a custom stair job, you can have a ton of fun out there on the water. They can do that. What about a spot lock trolling motor? So you stay right where you need to in casting lines. Or sonar that's let you see the fish under the water before you cast. All of your maintenance needs as well. For 38 years, they've been at it and will continue to do so. The Sherman family of front-to-back boat service.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way.
Moscona inviting you to join us for Thursday's AFR, presented by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. Saints joint workouts with the Chargers in L.A. We'll have updates for you. Join us for Thursday's AFR, 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
What's happening, y'all? Welcome back to OTB. Hope everybody's having a great morning today. Massive news for the Madden heads. I don't know how we didn't lead the show with this, Jake, But look at this brand new graphical update from the team at EA. Patrick Mahomes actually sticks out his tongue while throwing the ball now.
All right. That's a detail.
And it looks so unsettling.
Seems extra.
It looks so weird.
Yeah.
He looks like how I feel when I see Miss Met. Yeah.
You got issues.
I'll take that bonk. I'm not taking your TikTok rush bonks. I'll take a Miss Met bonk 10 times out of 10.
I love Twitter so much.
I love hip cleavage, and Miss Met has hip cleavage for days.
What is hip cleavage?
When a person sits down, this thing right here, they sit down, see if you got a big wide booty, it's like you get this right here, that crease right there. Ooh, boy. Damn. I
She
love me
does.
some hip cleavage.
She does have that, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Hell yeah.
Okay.
I think there's another term for that, but yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Okay.
Like what?
I don't know what it is. I've just heard.
Oh, okay. Well,
we'll try and modernize it.
no, I mean, I'm into hip cleavage, and I didn't make the term up. I'll just say that.
All right.
It is if you Google it, there is a hip cleavage community out there, of which Miss Met would be near the top of the list. Jake, what is this piece on ESPN that you were looking at?
So it kind of had best case scenario and what the worst case scenario would be for all of the teams in the top 25. And I didn't like the best case is not that interesting for LSU because we know what the best case scenario is.
Yeah,
right. You go out there, you win every game, you play for a championship, you beat Alabama for a second time in a row, you get to Georgia, all of those things. So that's the best case scenario. Now this is from our guy Chris Lowe. Worst case scenario. 8-5 with losses to Florida State, Ole Miss, Alabama, Texas A&M, and whoever they play in the bowl game.
God.
The Tigers finished 10-4 last season, and that was with losses in 2 of their final 3 games. Winning just 8 games as an encore to what LSU did a year ago would be a disappointment on the Bayou. But there aren't a lot of easy outs on LSU's schedule, and the September slate is filled with potholes. Getting Alabama and Tuscaloosa this season is automatically making it a more difficult schedule. And 4 of the first 6 games are away from Tiger Stadium. LSU's talent level is such that there shouldn't be a significant drop-off, but making it back to the SEC championship game will prove difficult.
Yeah, now before everybody jumps to Chris Lowe, recognize the entire point of the article is worst-case scenario, okay?
Yes.
And that's a pretty realistic worst-case scenario that he is
All right,
lined
well,
up.
yeah, because Chris is my guy. Let me read best case so you don't think he's just – so college football playoff semifinal is the best case scenario, actually, for C. Lowe. He doesn't have a championship. Nobody saw LSU getting to the SEC championship game a year ago, especially after getting killed by Tennessee 40-13 at home the second week of October. But the Tigers picked themselves up off the turf, kept getting better, and Brian Kelly squeezed everything and then some out of his first LSU team. His second team will be even deeper. Kelly knows about this team, knows more about this team, and more importantly, the Tigers have a seasoned quarterback in Jaden Daniels who has proven on the big stage he can beat teams both passing and running. If LSU can manage to get through the month of September unscathed, then that November the 4th game at Alabama could end up being a play-in game for the college football playoff.
Yeah, so
we need to get that font bigger on ESPN, boy. Oof.
You can zoom in.
I know. I am now.
Look,
No, I'm good. No. I don't want to do that. I didn't know this was a touchscreen until just now.
Oh, wow. Never?
I've had this computer in front of me for about
years.
3 years now.
Yeah. You never knew that until just now?
Just now.
Oh, wow.
I would have done that because I was squinting there.
It's all good. I've had a lot of today years old moments recently.
So, look, I think Lowe raises solid takes on both. Now, I do think LSU season is a championship.
I think 9-3 is the floor for them. Oof. And I think 11-1.
I think 9-3 would be a disappointment. I think they need to win 10. I think a 10-2 regular season
I said the floor.
should be. Okay, that's what I mean. Though. I just want to make sure that we're on the same page because I'm saying like 10-2 is the expectation. You're gonna be favored in every game except for Alabama, like we talked about. And 9-3, you're right. People aren't gonna like lose their mind.
Yeah.
But it would be a disappointment. That would fall under expectation for me.
Oh yes.
Okay.
Even with the bowl win and finishing 10-3, which again, you would percentage-wise finish better than a year ago.
Yeah.
But it still would feel like a disappointment unless unless it was a 10-2 regular season, or sorry, 9-3 regular season, and you found your way to a New Year's Six bowl game because of some other things that happened in front of you, and then you played like a big opponent and you won that game. Maybe, just maybe, that would make you feel a little bit better. But
there's a lot of Mississippi State slander going on in the chat right now. I'm just saying, just remember, Mississippi State finished 3rd in the West last year. Like, I'm not, you know, I'm kind of a believer in him this year. I'm not saying you have to be, but like, I'm also like, somebody's talking about being the doormat of the SEC West, and it's like, I don't think I'm going to give that status to State.
I like State better than Ole Miss this year. I really do.
I don't know if I can follow you all the way there because I think Jackson Dart's going to be really good, but whatever.
Mississippi
I think
State was better last year.
awesome.
Mississippi State won the game last year.
No doubt.
So I know they've got some new offensively, but I love the people that they have coming back on defense. Now, it's not a lot. 4 starters. I think it's more like 6 because 2 guys played a ton of football, but they are as veteran can be. Now, they have a ceiling, and I don't think that ceiling allows them to beat Alabama or LSU, but it allows them to beat Arkansas, Ole Miss, Auburn, teams like that in the West.
They could beat them. I think we're underplaying the loss of Mike Leach, though. I mean, that offense under him was humming. I mean, how's it going to be without him?
I can't remember his name, but have you read about the guy that came over from App State?
I understand that.
He has incredibly good passing numbers.
We still haven't seen it, though, in the SEC.
Yeah,
it's just like
we did. We saw him beat Texas A&M last year.
Yeah. I mean, they won the bowl.
There's going to be a level of physicality to that team that I'm excited to see, because Arnett, and T, I don't know if you had a chance to sit down with him at media days. It's all ball and it's all focused, and it is like, I'm surprised he didn't have a neck roll on in the interview.
Yeah,
I mean, he is all, which, you know me, I don't hate that, but that, like, he is focused on being physical, playing football, all the other stuff. Somebody else can do that. They're going to be physical. They're going to be tough. The changes on offense, it's not even the fact that I don't think they can handle it, but they start out with a tough schedule. And when you're trying to do something new, just like LSU was trying to do last year, they were doing some new things, and we saw some misses certainly against Florida State with the new. Like, their schedule, having LSU so early, that's going to be difficult for them. But by the end of the season, they'll be playing at a very high level.
Yeah, we can maybe talk about Kevin Barbay. That's who the OC is. Well, Taylor, I guess all I'm saying is, like, I feel you, right? I mean, Mike Leach, it's inarguable, is one of the best coaches of all time in terms of squeezing the most out of a team's potential. That said, I do feel like he left Mississippi State in a pretty good spot, and I guess I'm just not taking it because, I mean, look, a lot of people hated on the air raid and said that as much as it helped you, at other times it hurt you. Like, I guess I'm just not a 100% believer that you can't be a better overall team
if they were trying to, like, hold it up with duct tape, like they brought in another air raid guy, I think I actually would have more concern to that.
I agree.
I'm a State fan.
I would agree
because
with that.
There's, like, the GOAT of the air raid, and if you try to bring somebody in that was in his tree, like, we just in recent times when you've tried to do that, and we're talking about all football, different levels, like when you've tried to have the guy because he's similar to the guy, it doesn't seem to ever work out really. Yeah,
I agree, and so I appreciate them going a different round, hiring a. I'll give you numbers. This is crazy. So the Pirate is in the chat. He's our resident Mississippi State fan. He says in the last, when was it? Mississippi State 6th in wins in the last 12 years in the SEC. That's right. Would you have guessed that?
Honestly, yeah. That's not that impressive. That's like middle of the pack, literally.
Yeah, but
that's literally middle of the pack.
That's about right.
I know. Well, it's actually okay.
It's not
if
anymore.
you want to be,
you're old school SEC
hey,
fan.
Look,
Not
I'm the
anymore.
king of doing this, but you don't get to be aggressive and say literally when it's literally right above the middle of the pack, dumbasses.
Fine.
There's
If that, you're right. If they were
so
7th,
you are both literally
you're right.
wrong.
If they
Suck
were
it, nerds.
7th, I
learn how
apologize.
math works. They are actually literally above average.
Okay.
Secondly, what I'm saying is you all talk about them like they're trash. And they're sixth.
I'm not saying they're going to be trash this year, but T-Bob, look at the SEC West and tell me a team that has a bigger question mark. I'm not saying Barbay's not going to be good, but find a team that has a bigger question mark than Mississippi State going into 2023.
I mean, Arkansas's got a new offense coordinator as well. I mean, they lose their guy in Kendall Briles, and so they've got questions. They lost Trey Knox as well, who was a great outlet for KJ Jefferson, so they've got questions.
I feel you. I mean, I'm not going to say
Yeah,
that.
Texas A&M. Texas A&M's got the biggest question.
You think?
How in the hell is that going to work out?
No, I agree with that, but at least their head coach is back
I mean,
and all that.
We do have a bowl game under our net without Leach to look back
do.
on.
And they beat a good Illinois
They
team.
beat a good Illinois team in a
We do.
defensive battle. That's pre-Barbay showing up. So, I don't know, man. Whatever. I think they could be kind of free. Whatever. We've gone down a Mississippi State hole I did not intend. I just saw them being called the doormat. I don't agree with that.
The West this year, there's like 4 teams. I just, like, you almost don't know. Like, it could be, the ceiling can be incredibly high, higher than we think. And then you could have teams that aren't really bad football teams finish 7th.
So
I had Arkansas, I think, 7th at media days, if I'm not mistaken.
Bill Connolly
I don't think they're bad.
Yeah, I think I did as well. And then KJ Jefferson's like, one of the best quarterbacks in the SEC. But just there's only so much oxygen in the room. Connolly came out with his final S&P rankings yesterday. And one of the fascinating parts, we mentioned it before, but all 7 SEC West teams in the top 30. And he kind of created this term light heavyweights. And you look at A&M, Ole Miss, Florida, Kentucky. These are all teams that are in the top 25 S&P Plus, which just tries to see, okay, like, how good are you on a play-by-play metric? How efficient are you? How sustainable are the things that you do in a translated success? It does not actually care about win-loss. So they're top 25, but they have win expectations of 6.5 to 7.9 games, simply because there's just too many good teams in the SEC, and everybody's just going to snipe one another.
This, to me, feels like a year, and it's always important, but it feels like a year. How does your schedule lay out? Not who do you play, because you're playing teams in the SEC, but how does it lay out? What is your 3-game stretch? And if you've ever listened to me talk, I always talk about 3-game stretches, every SEC schedule, who's got the best, who's got the worst. Like, if I'm looking at LSU's schedule, that's one of the reasons why I think we like them so much.
Friendly schedule.
As far
Really
as that
is.
3-game stretch, because you've got Florida State, then you get Grambling,
Yep.
then you go to Mississippi State. Okay, so now then you got at Mississippi State, Arkansas, at Ole Miss. Is that it? You've got Missouri, Auburn, Army. I don't think that's it. You've got Alabama, Florida, but then Georgia State before A&M. So if you had to pick one, it would probably be at Alabama, Florida at home, Georgia State, Texas A&M at home.
Yeah, but Florida
again,
sucks this year.
there's not that brutal stretch where you're like, you got a good Florida team, you're on the road against Alabama, and then you got to come back and play A&M. That's a good football team. Like,
And there's a bye week between Florida and Bama, right? Or no,
Between
no,
Army and
Florida's
Alabama.
After. Florida's after. Okay, yeah, sorry.
yeah, Florida's later in the schedule than they've been
It's
in
weird.
the past. So
It's weird.
But if you go to a team like we're talking about in Mississippi State, then they've kind of got that stretch that we're talking about. They've got LSU at South Carolina, Alabama.
You gotta get out South Carolina if you want to accomplish your goals in your Mississippi State. And you want to do what you did last year, 4-4 in the SEC. That feels like you got to go 1-2 there. To go 0-3 there would be brutal.
Before we go to break, can I give a very random stat that you kind of made me look up?
Yeah.
In the last 10 years, the Pelicans are 23rd in the NBA in wins. The Lakers are 25th.
Aha! It hits a little less after the after this past year, but I feel you. I feel you, though.
The Lakers also have a championship.
Just wanted to say.
Lakers suck too. Do they have a championship in those 10 years? Yeah, I guess they do.
Bubble.
Mickey
Yeah.
Mouse one. I mean, we don't really count it, but
Yeah, you would have the biggest banner if the Pelicans had that.
That's actually true.
Thought we were allies.
No, we are. But championship's a championship. I mean,
no. Look,
It's better than what we have, yeah. But
you took
still.
It's a shot that would have played great
If they didn't win
during the
championship.
Zion month last year. I could have handled the championship because I can explain away by saying COVID, blah blah blah. But when they sucked and the Pels were third in the West, that would have been great then. With how the season played out, it kind of lost a little luster. That is crazy though. Screw The Lakers, incredibly bad.
If you were curious, the Magic are last and the Warriors are first.
God, the Magic. I mean, just one of those franchises. It's like, you're so bad. You've got all these first-round picks, top 3 picks, and you're just bad.
I mean, they were tight with Shaq and Penny. They were tight with Dwight Howard. But I guess that's kind of it.
That's kind
Over my entire life.
That's kind of it. Scott Skiles?
Yeah.
NBA GM?
He was coach.
Well, he's a player there, too.
Shout out Patrick Mahomes. I mean, Paolo Bancho.
Okay, well done. When we get back, more OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com. Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust Poll of the Day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, live at lunch, Hunt Palmer. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the Poll of the Day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared toward seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all of that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Bayou Ford has $8,000 off MSRP, plus 1.9% financing on new 23 Ford F-150 XLT trucks, along with Bayou Ford's 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Taco, 5621 Government Street, and online ordering available at govttaco.com.
This is Malik Neighbors with the Tigers. Are you looking for a teammate to help you achieve your financial dreams? Join my team at Louisiana National Bank to experience uncommon banking. Stop by Louisiana National Bank and visit the friendly staff or online at ln.bank. Equal housing lenders and members of FDIC.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
121-12674. Offices in Baton Rouge. 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Charles Hannegriff joined me and Jimmy out for the next edition of Live at Lunch from Louis Cafe, just outside the gates of LSU. Dwayne Colucci's with us, Matt Humans is with us, and Jacques Doucet from WAFB. Live at Lunch, 11 a.m. weekdays on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
The city streets are empty now. The lights don't shine no more.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Yo, what's going on, y'all? Welcome back to OTB. Hour 2, roll right along. We just talking some college football, man.
Okay, I'm glad you said that because this is like a 2023 college football tweet from Brett McMurphy. Condoleezza Rice went to Stanford. George W. Bush, SMU, contacting the ACC officials to lobby for those schools to get an invite into the ACC. And then Brett says, no word if Marshawn Lynch is reaching out on Cal's behalf.
Yeah.
If Lynch, I'd actually if Marshawn called me, that would be a great conversation, actually.
I'm trying to find. Sorry, I'm stalling here because I'm trying to find the tweet. Shout out PFT commenter saying, intriguing, but I would be very wary since George W. and Condoleezza have not always done so well when it comes to thinking in advance about threats to the Atlantic coast. That's pretty solid. There, PFT's always good for some kind of history football jokes. Condoleezza Rice.
I like George W.
Okay, I don't think that's not the point. That's not the point at all. It's just a little joke.
Friendly old man.
I'll never forget Adam Schefter tweeting that she was a candidate for the Browns head coaching job. And I was going crazy trying to figure out, was that the real Adam Schefter? And it indeed was.
Look, Condoleezza Rice
I
has
remember that.
been involved in a ton of college football. She was on the first CFP committee.
Was that right after they got rid of Hugh Jackson?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that a couple years ago.
It was a legit report from Schefter. It just never came to fruition.
I mean, Stanford needs to be. I hope Stanford finds a way to a Power 5. I will be upset if not.
I just don't know how it makes sense.
No, I don't know what makes sense either. I don't. I'm not saying that I have an answer. It's a classic. I wish this thing would happen, but I have no discernible solutions to offer up. It just bums me out.
Stanford, Cal, Army, Air Force, Navy, Notre Dame.
New con?
Yep.
New con, baby. What did I want to do? Oh, okay. I wanted to touch on some interesting numbers out of Connolly's S&P Plus. A few things to note. First off, the Big Four, UJ, Ohio State, Michigan, Alabama, they're all basically rated the exact same. Their rating falls within 1.1 points of each other from top to bottom. They're at least a full 5 points ahead of everyone else, but LSU is next in line. Best of the rest. They are at 5, followed by Penn State, Clemson, Tennessee, Texas, USC. What's interesting about that is if you look outside the top 4, I do feel like LSU, Penn State, Clemson, maybe USC, I could see as ending up maybe playing for a national championship. One thing that is kind of intriguing, Jake, if you look at the conference rankings, the SEC is so far and above every other conference. They have an average rating of 15.7. The Big Ten comes in second place with an average rating of 9.8. The Big 12 at 9.7. So the Big Ten is as top-heavy as ever. It's got the 3 great teams and then kind of a lot of chaff underneath, whereas the Big 12 doesn't have the great teams, but it's got a lot of very even teams all the way kind of throughout. Yep. Big 12, all 14 teams are rated, have a positive rating, which means they project to be better than the average FBS team.
If I said, hey, T-Bob, how many teams in the ACC can truly make a run and play for a championship? How many would you
2.
say? And
Let me think if there's a third. No.
And the 2 would be Clemson and Florida State.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, I agree
obviously.
there. In the Big 12, I said, T-Bob, how many teams can make a championship run? You would say.
I kind of think none, but whatever. I mean, the hive mind would say Texas. I think none, though.
Last year.
But I'm not hating on the Big 12.
No, I know.
Because I think they're awesome top to bottom.
But
They're
God,
good.
last year and what TCU did from that conference, it's hard for me to say that.
Yeah, I feel it.
Texas has the talent. I'm very high on TCU. Kansas State, I don't know if that ceiling can get there, but if they win the Big 12, they only lose 1 game. Who's that game to? They could. So I think there potentially could be 3. And again, this isn't likely to happen, but actually we're sitting here. The ball has not been kicked off yet. You actually had the opportunity, if you do the things TCU did a year ago, to make it. It's kind of the conversation. Because ACC, I still agree with you.
The Big 12 would smash the ACC if you played like a round-robin
without
tournament.
question. I think Pitt's going to be better. Duke's going to be good. Duke won 9 games last year, but they're not getting to a championship. So I still think that answer is 2. In the Big 12, I kind of think it's 3. In the Big 10, I still think it's 3 as well.
There's definitely 3 in the Big 10.
With Michigan, Ohio State, Penn State.
Yeah, strong
Very,
3 there.
The second strongest 3.
Yeah.
Maybe for the Big 10 there. So I'm not going to argue that one at all. All right, SEC, 4 or 3?
Georgia, Alabama got to be in there no matter what. Even though I'm not very high on Alabama this year.
And then LSU's got to be in
LSU. Yeah. And so, 3.
Would you add anybody? Would you add Tennessee or any team?
No, I'm not giving. It's also like I didn't
Okay.
give Texas the benefit of the doubt. I'm not giving Tennessee the benefit of the doubt there.
Right. I've got 4 in the Pac-12.
Really?
I've got 4 teams. Now, again, they're going to play each other. They're going to beat each other up. So 4 aren't going to be there in the end. But right now, before the ball is kicked off, if they take care of their business, I think Oregon, I think Utah, USC, and Washington all can make a championship run if they do the things a la TCU from a year ago. The schedules lay out for them to be able to go, have big wins,
Have the
and do
resume.
that.
If you make it through with 1 loss, you'll make the playoff.
If there's one team that makes it through with 1 loss, you're exactly right. They will make the college football playoff because the schedules for those teams is brutal. Like USC's is backloaded. They better hope they're playing their best football. Like even like just pulling up randomly, Oregon, they got to go at Texas Tech, at Washington, at Utah, SC, and then Oregon State to finish the season.
Jesus.
So that's going to be very – and we could go Utah, who's won the Pac-12 2 years in a row. Like they've got an incredibly – Florida's not going to be great. But still, you play Florida, you got to be ready. Florida, Anthony Richardson, the Unicorn, won that game for them last year, and then they didn't finish it for Utah. They had a chance in the end zone. But still, Florida, like I'm not going to just throw that game away. So you've got that. Then the next week, you got to turn around and go to Baylor. It's going to be hotter than the Devil's Lair in Waco, Texas for that Utah team. Right? So then you get UCLA, Oregon State in the Pac-12, your first 2 Pac-12 games. You got to go on the road to Oregon State, on the road to USC. You got Oregon the week after you go on the road to USC. You got to go to Washington as well. So all of these teams, I could go through all the Pac-12 teams of the 4, and they have a very similar schedule to what we're laying out there. So if a team only has 1 loss from that, you might hate the Pac-12 and say it's not real football, but it is this year. They've got some real depth to the conference, and if you have only 1 loss and you finish it with a Pac-12 championship,
you're in.
You're going to have a spot at the table.
Yeah, you're absolutely in, as you should be this year. A strong top 6. I'm not saying they're all top. I'm not saying 6 natty contenders, but like a strong top half of the Pac-12 this year. And to be fair, their rating number is nearly double that of last season. They were 3.6. They're now 7.1 in the SP Plus. So going to be
that's a major jump. Obviously, but even if you don't understand the analytics of Bill Connelly and what he does,
all you got to know is that it's double.
Yeah.
One more little interesting nugget on the way out here. Connelly projects about 3 point. Now that the clock is no longer stopping after first downs, except for within the final 2 minutes.
Yep.
Projected 3.2 minutes of the 60-minute game going to be taken off. That's about 5%. It's not nothing.
Was 13 plays a game? Is that what I saw?
Is that what that would equal?
They said it was about 6 or 7 per team. So
okay.
That's
we'll
right.
See. Right. I'll be interested to see if someone like those high-powered offenses does this whatever. I don't know if we'll ever feel it, if that's not enough to feel. When we get back, more OTB. Keep it locked.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
BRAC teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered gold. BRAC, your #1 park system in the nation.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Make this summer your backyard party year with Chris's Specialty Foods. Wings, burgers, brisket, steak, and boudin, plus great Cajun side dishes. We do all the prep, and you enjoy laughing with friends and family. Chris's Specialty Foods, Millerville, New Orleans, Prairieville, and Frisco.
Everybody loves Chris's authentic Cajun meat.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
Bayou Ford has $8,000 off MSRP, plus 1.9% financing on new 23 Ford F-150 XLT trucks, along with Bayou Ford's 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
Join me for a Thursday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show, presented by Rouse's. We'll chat with Luke Johnson out in La La Land with the Saints. Hunt Palmer Show, 1 to 3 weekdays, 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
What's happening, y'all? Welcome back. Some Oregon booster put a Bo Nix billboard in downtown New York City yesterday. Okay, yeah.
Huge.
Remember, like we said, only 2 teams of the past 17 or 2 decades, basically, have won the Natty that haven't started in the AP Top 7. And when you look outside of that AP Top 7, A lot of people tell you Texas. I will not get because of I don't believe in Sark. But Oregon is who I would look at because the two teams that did it were 2010 Auburn and 2013 FSU. What do both of them have? Transcendent Heisman quarterbacks. I think Bo Nix could maybe be that guy. Though I am interested to see how he does without Kenny Dillingham, who has moved on and is now with Arizona State. There's a lot of cocaine talk going on in the chat right now. It's only 8:53 a.m., guys.
I remember when Bo Nix won SEC Freshman of the Year over Derek Stingley. That feels like a lifetime ago.
It does feel like a lifetime ago. It does feel a little crazy, even though I do feel like Bo Nix. It's such a weird thing where his stats maybe weren't as bad as I thought they were when I went to look them up the other day. Yeah, I mean, that freshman year, he throws for 2,500 yards, 16 touchdowns, and 6 picks. It's way harder to play quarterback as a freshman in the SEC than it is to play corner. Maybe not physically. Physically, corner is the hardest on the field. But mentally, certainly, having that success as a quarterback, it's just that it never got any better. It stalled and or reversed, except for that one game in Tiger Stadium. 4th and 2, Bo Nix was just unstoppable. Was that 2021?
Yeah.
That was, oh my God, that was making me so mad, dude. That was making me furious.
I'm lost in the sauce over here.
What are you looking at?
I just stumbled upon an article, and it's about chargering. ESPN.com. They wrote an entire article about the verb chargering, and I'm sitting here, and I'm like, oh man, I was in that game. I was in that game as well. I mean, so like the memories, I'm like, oh, there's a Ray Rice 4th and 29 conversion on like a check down. There's Nate Kading missing 3 field goals and a playoff loss to the Jets after he connected on 32 consecutive during the regular season. Oh, there's just a lot of painful memories here.
Bro, this is crazy. Bo Nix increased his completion percentage 10 points above what it had ever been before to 72. He threw for 1,000 more yards than he ever thrown for 3,600, Jake. He nearly doubled his touchdowns, so in 29 last year, where 16 was his high. He doubled his rushing touchdowns, having 14 last year when 7 was his high. He nearly doubled his yards. He averaged 5.7 per carry, which doubles what he had. Like, what a jump.
I'm liking
for Nix
Oregon more and more by the day.
Yeah.
I'm just, if they take on Dan Lanning's attitude, look out for the Ducks.
That's right. Look at the tattoo, baby. More to be
Off
next.
the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to Patient Plus Urgent Care, patientplusuc.com, where you're going to see the difference right when you pull up to the building. Go look at the website. Go look at all the different locations. Look at the buildings. You're like, oh, my God, they're so nice. If you're like me, maybe you live in that Seguin area, every day I drive by Patient Plus, and, well, it's great because
That'd be the St. George location?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right. And so the great part is, though, there's, I think, like up to 11, maybe 12 or 13 now. Like, they're open up all over the place. So there's one by you. Just put in your phone and understand you've never been to an urgent care this nice.
T-Bob's right. I mean, the one closest to him is not the closest to me because they're everywhere in the Baton Rouge area. So go ahead and find that location because they are there for you in that inconvenient time to be a convenience for you. You can go to the website, patientplusuc.com. You can schedule that visit online. Walk-ins are always welcome as well. So all the information is there. Go ahead and get that visit scheduled today. patientplusuc.com.
At Corval Toyota in Opelousas, you can lease a new Toyota Camry for $489 per month. That's right, you can get a brand new Toyota Camry for only $489 per month. So come on down to Happy Town. That's Corval Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
The importance of doing this Fortified program and offering it to people down here is, number one, the only real chance you're going to get to do this is when you put on a new roof or build new. And through companies like HUDCO, who's kind of leading the way in this thing, it's going to offer the customers a huge advantage in the insurance market and the price of their insurance.
You know, we're not looking to make a fortune off fortifying. We're trying to give you a better product than our competitor at the moment. I'm trying to do something that he can. I'm trying to give you something better. So a lot of these insurance shops, you're getting a re-roof, you're only paying your deductible. Let's sit down and talk about the Fortified and let's see what it does to your insurance premium. You're getting a steal.
Yeah.
You're getting a brand new roof and a Fortified certificate for your deductible, essentially. And I think we're rocking and rolling.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust Poll of the Day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, live at lunch, Hunt Palmer. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the Poll of the Day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
Good morning, everybody. It is 9 a.m. on Thursday, August 17th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect sunny skies with a high of 100. Coming up on OTB, Chef Michael Johnson joins the show for a new edition of Munchies at 9:15. You can follow today's show on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at OTB_ESPN, or catch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel and subscribe for daily content. OTB OT, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio, starts now.
Let we go. All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, P, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo.
Not today. Not today. Look, Taylor, go ahead and look at 9 a.m. It's Dion Sanders talking about players fighting. I don't think there's cursing. Don't roll your eyes, Taylor. Just do it.
Y'all spicy
No,
back there today,
it's
Bo.
just Dion. He sent this to me yesterday.
Why do you hate Dion?
He's literally encouraging his players to fight at practice.
Yeah.
No, he's saying if there is a fight, you better join in the fight with your teammates.
Yeah, tell me you're soft without telling me you're soft, because you just told on yourself.
Man.
Okay, if your boy is fighting, you have to fight. And then it's a coach's responsibility to break it up. But if my guys aren't fighting with their boys, that's a problem. Because then you're a weakling. I had to avoid a lot of words there. But
Well
yes, you're a coward. Get in there. I also don't want you to be like the one guy that we're going to see in the video who's like, I was in there though. Like, shut up, dude. It's not the freaking point, okay?
Yeah, if you got to tell somebody you was in
there.
there.
That's what I'm saying. If you got to tell somebody
really in there.
that's also you're doing too much too. Just shut up.
I mean,
the
I get it, but
expectation
it's
is
like
you fight for your brother and you let the coaches break it up.
It's like,
you see, this is the problem. You think Dion's all flash, no substance. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Dion is a damn good football coach.
Is he?
That's what gets lost. Yes.
According to who? Like, what did he do?
According to every one of his players that he's coached thus far, and according to his record. What do you mean?
At Jackson State?
Yes. Who else has had success at Jackson State? What are you talking about? Look at the turnaround that he had.
Having success at Jackson State for 2 years does not mean he's going to succeed in the Power 5. It does not.
It doesn't mean he's a bad. So what evidence do you have that he's a bad football coach,
I don't,
Taylor?
but everybody's saying that he is.
Exactly.
I'm waiting and seeing.
So I'm going off of okay. So yeah. So okay. That what an incredible technique. What a world to live in when I can ignore all evidence that disagrees with my argument until a shred of evidence points up that supports it.
Hold on. Does this all come from his days as a Cowboy? Like I'm seeing
no,
in the chat.
I didn't see.
Is that where this comes back to?
Cowboy Dion was pre-me. Like I never really watched Dion as a player.
All right, I'm just making sure.
No, I'm not saying he's a bad coach. Everybody's
it's
hyping
not
him
just
up.
a Jackson State record. That's great. But have you ever listened to what he tells the players? It's good coaching. It's real talk about expectation, working hard, taking care of your business in the classroom, on the field. Like the fact that, look, I'm going to be honest with you. If you suck, you're not going to play. I'm bringing my bags. They're Louis. Yeah, well, guess what? That's what he did. He hasn't lied. He hasn't told a lie to any of these players.
Are they Louis bags, though?
That's
my issue. I'm not trying to take a shot.
They're an upgrade from what they had before.
I'm not trying to take a shot, but he literally said,
not Louis yet, but they're Louis. But
he says, I'm bringing my bags and it's Louis. Like, bro, they came from Jackson
plan is for them
State.
to be Louis eventually.
Is that Louis or is it Target luggage? Like,
It's
what
a
are we doing?
relative Louis.
They are not going to be great this year, but you have what's great at Colorado is not great at LSU. They're going to win probably 4 games this year. When you won a game last year, you win 4. That is that's a leap. That's not a jump. And then next year, you got to go win 7.
But
you
I mean, also, you're
game.
just going to deny this man 4-3 during COVID into 11-2 into 12-1?
No, he was very good at Jackson State, but does that automatically mean he's going to have success in the Power 5?
It doesn't mean that you should feel like he's not going to.
I didn't say he
had
wasn't.
success at a place that almost no one does or
I didn't
has.
say he wasn't. I mean, but he was able to just out-recruit everyone on name alone at Jackson State. I mean, he was.
I think Dion will be proven over time.
Yes, for sure.
Are we going Coach Sanders, Coach Dion, Coach Prime?
He says Coach Prime. I
he
think.
says Coach Prime, but I'm how old am I?
I think.
God, 38. So I know him as Dion Sanders.
Yeah, primetime baby, 56.
I know, and I know primetime as well, but I didn't know if he was going. That's an
no,
actual
remember he got
question.
triggered. He got triggered that one time.
What was it?
Somebody called him Prime or Dion.
Somebody said, "Hey, Dion,"
and they're like, "You don't call Nick Saban Nick."
Although,
I don't call him Nick.
If you go listen to SEC Media Days, almost every single person says, "Hey, Nick."
No, look, journalists are never gonna care about saying coach. If you played for a guy, it's different. I mean, you do care, but it's not like they got a doctorate. But
I know, but I do find myself if I'm interviewing a coach, I always call him coach.
Yeah, but that's like an ex-athlete thing. I feel that. For sure. I go either way.
I knew there was something there. I don't remember the story, so that was not rhetorical.
Yeah.
I didn't know what he was wanting to be called.
No, but my point is, the Jackson State record's great, but I actually like all the clips I've seen of Dion coaching. I like this fight clip. I like the clip after the kid last year where he drops the game-winning pass, and he's devastated the locker room, and he's crying, and Dion's talking about how, look, this is what prepares you for life. How you respond to this is what's going to determine what kind of man you're going to be, but all this sort of stuff. To just take all that away because you don't like his style or the fact that his son has a YouTube channel, miss me.
I didn't necessarily say I don't like his style. I don't like this take, and I get it. It's oh, well, your boy's fighting. Yeah, he's also fighting your other boy that's on the same team as him.
So what I'm telling you, this is a take that's the exact same thing that Nick Saban would say. It's the exact same thing that Brian Kelly would say.
Brian Kelly did the opposite. He kicked him out of practice.
This is but he didn't have a problem with everybody having each other's back, though.
No.
That's what I said. This is not like there are shades of gray in this, in that as a coach, you have to break up the team fight, but you also need to make sure that you guys are we were just talking about NFL coaches the other day, talking about how the running back gets hit, everybody's got to go fight the defense because of it.
The running back coach, when I was in Denver, great coach. He would walk into the linebacker, the room. If we had a rookie, he's like, "Hey, get after my guy a little bit today. Get after him a little bit today. I want to see how he responds."
Yeah.
That would happen all the time. Hey, it'd be hey, nothing egregious, nothing cheap, but get after him a little bit. I want to see how he responds to what you're doing. A little extra here, a little extra there. And then he probably wanted to see how me and No Sean and Some of the Willis McGahee, how the veterans were going to respond.
Well, yeah, no, it's like we talked about, like who was getting touched up, and then y'all had to fight because, well, you had to. So you need a team that is willing to fight for your brother in arms, and then as a coach, you step in. But if they're not willing to fight, you have to coach that up.
Did you see the Cowboys one-on-one fight yesterday?
No.
They're doing one-on-one pass rush, and
Always
this is
fun
like
time.
they're together. It's not like a joint practice, and the offense and defensive linemen, like it's a rep or whatever, and like one pushes, the other pushes, and the other pushes, and then the offensive lineman kind of gets like a heavy push, and he's about to walk back, and the defensive lineman's coming after, and he's like this, about to swing on him, and here comes his buddy. The offensive line lays him out, and then here comes just a mad rugby
I did see
scrum.
that. That was Cowboys?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
The most important part of that clip, Dak threw an absolutely horrendous pass to the receiver before that happened.
Oh, wow.
He did, yeah.
Brock Purdy's thrown 10 picks. I just saw. Whatever. Play the Dion Sanders.
Yeah, I'm getting it.
Play the Dion Sanders clip. We don't have it yet?
It's not the correct one in this article.
Ooh.
It's like on YouTube, people are breaking it down. I'm looking for the actual Dion clip.
In that ESPN article, there's not the. Have you gone to Twitter and tried to look it up?
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm
good
looking at it
news.
right now.
Sounds like we need to coach you up on.
I'm looking at it
how
right
to
now.
do
I found the clip.
Your job.
Found a clip. It's at 9 o'clock. That's the good news. The bad news is there is cursing. However, if we start it at 42 seconds, we can catch just Dion's speech, which does not have cursing.
Man, I wanted to see the giant dude though, because involved in the fight is their 6'10" tackle. He's 6 feet 10 inches tall.
Low man
Does
not win in that case.
Dion. All right, well, let's just start at 42 seconds then. I mean, we can start at 42 seconds. Whenever you get it. Here.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the ad.
Or actually, let's go to let's hold off on it, and we'll workshop it during the break and see if we can play and not play, because it will lose a bit of its context without the fight itself.
Jeff G. T-Bob making the mental notes list. Hester hates Derek Carr. Taylor hates Dion. Wait till the season is over. I don't hate Derek Carr. I hated the fact that y'all were hating on like Andy Dalton and what he did the year before, like it was nothing, when he was by the numbers in analytics, and you're a big analytics guy.
No, the analytics
That
are
was my
not
problem.
on Andy Dalton's side. The base numbers are. The analytics are not, because he wasn't very efficient on a play-by-play basis, and he wasn't very explosive.
But remember,
no,
we broke it down.
QB rating and all QBR, like all that.
That was that was my entire point of the argument.
What I'm saying though is that the advanced analytics were not on.
But they weren't towards Carr
Dalton's
either.
side.
Though, remember, we broke it down.
I don't remember. Well, no, the base stats were like they were very equivalent last year from like your traditional statistics.
But I don't hate Derek Carr. I think he's a great human being.
Who you taking
Great
as your
Christian
quarterback?
man.
Andy Dalton, Derek Carr.
I go Derek Carr.
Exactly.
I go Derek Carr.
But it's not even close.
But it is.
No, it's not.
Again, this is not slander towards Derek Carr.
It is inherently.
I think it's just, I don't think Andy Dalton is as bad as y'all think he is.
We'll find out. I think the biggest critique with Andy Dalton, again, this is all spilled milk, is the end of games. The Saints had opportunities to put
Without
some
question.
games away.
And that's what Derek Carr's like best at.
Off top, I'm thinking.
You got to get there, though.
Yeah, the 9-point lead against the Bengals in the second half. You had a double-digit lead against Tampa Bay in the second half. You put Derek Carr in those situations.
Was the Vikings game in London, was that a comeback, or did they give that lead up?
No, I believe they came back.
remember.
And then, the Vikings won.
Early games, early boy.
All I'm saying is that.
But
Derek Carr's going to have a better defense than he's ever had.
I don't want to have that argument. I'm just saying this is not hate towards Derek Carr more than it was. I feel like, and maybe it's a little of my bias of he's in the NFL. I thought he played well, and everybody's just assuming with Andy Dalton. When I think when you take a look at what he did and the situation he was in, he didn't think he was going to be the starter. I don't think it was as bad as y'all made it out to be. Y'all made it sound like he was Billy Joe Hobart out there.
And my point is, while he performed above what my expectation is, his numbers are also misleading. That although they appeared very good from certain angles, that it actually wasn't as good. Like they were a bit of false. Okay, it's like Trey Lance. Remember the other day when I mentioned Trey Lance, and you were like, "Well, did you watch the game or did you just see the box score?" And I just seen the box score.
Right.
It read good on Trey Lance, but it wasn't.
No, it was bad.
To me, that's how I felt about Andy Dalton a lot last season.
Max says Andy Dalton was a check down Sally. It's actually a check down Charlie.
And you got to keep alliteration.
Yeah, it's a check down Charlie. Although I appreciate the
Short
effort.
pass.
Daniel says, answer the question how T-Bob wants you to, Jake.
Yeah, thank you. God, I mean, my life would be so much easier if you, my wife, Aaron, Taylor,
Me, yeah,
Mario,
for sure.
if y'all understood this, like.
What's T-Bob's trigger points?
Dion
You saying
Sanders
Andy Dalton's
is
gonna
one.
do their
Deep,
car?
Dion's one now.
Taking a deep breath, a sigh,
No,
deep sigh.
No. My trigger point
is
with the
number
Dion
one.
thing is you feeling so confident in your, this is bad leadership, this is a bad take, when it's literally how I've always been coached to play the game of football by very good coaches.
It's fine.
So
I
I vehemently disagree with that.
That is perfectly fine.
Anymore? I know like a heavy sigh, T-Bob hates it.
I don't like a heavy sigh because we got to bring the energy in the morning.
know,
People
no.
come to us for laughs and juice in the morning. If you're sighing, get the hell out of here.
Anymore?
What would Tommy Moffitt do if you sighed in the weight room?
I'm not even disagreeing with you. See? You want me to answer it like you want me to.
Pisses
I'm
me
trying
off,
to.
dude. What else?
Andy Dalton,
God, I missed
Illuminati.
People talking about not lacking The Last Jedi. Freaking idiots.
Yeah, I miss Tommy
Neophytes.
Moffat. I miss Tommy Moffat so
I do
much,
too.
man.
Cretins, dumbasses. What, you don't like the most emotionally complex Star Wars movie that's maybe ever been made?
What was
One
the
that set you up for a perfect finish, only for J.J. Abrams to betray? Ugh.
What do you hate more, that or what was the HBO show that he loved? Was it Rome?
Yeah, I mean, don't even get me started on the
I've
road
never
trip.
seen it,
I'm more
so-
passionate about Last Jedi, and I have more arguments because
Okay.
there's more bad opinions about that. But like, the fact that just we're not giving any respect to Rome, one of the original, actual like big budget, like Rome paves the way for Game of Thrones and other stuff getting made. But whatever. I mean, screw it. Who cares about people that break down barriers, right? I guess we can just forget about Jackie Robinson while we're at it, right, Taylor? Is that what you want to do?
God, like Dustin B in the chat has me pegged as well. Not Jake being petty towards a Raider. That's exactly that's a great point. That is such a great point. Hey, and remember, all I have to do before boot meets ball is have the heel turn and start loving Derek Carr and saying I was wrong and then being on the record saying I was right. So I still have that ability for a couple more weeks.
It's true. Just cover that real estate bone. You always want to have a couple clips. You just plant your flag in a couple different stakes of land. So whatever ends up turning up oil, you're like, I was here.
Just don't ever do
Look
this.
at it, dude.
Don't ever do this. Do not ever only champion for when you were right. Do not come in here and just pat yourself on the back. Here where I was right. Here where I was right. If you do that, that's fine. If you also say, but man, here's where I sucked. Here's where I was bad. I cannot stand, well, here, I was right here. I was right here. Yeah, all of us are going to be right sometimes, but I also like it, and T-Bob does a great job of this as well. Oh, man, did I miss that
I mean, as soon as I'm wrong, I'm never, like, I'm not wrong, so I just don't hear. But as soon as I'm wrong, I'll let y'all know. But eventually I'll get there. No, but it's like Papa Colin. Papa Colin has the whole, where Colin was right, Colin was wrong thing.
Yeah, I told you,
he
like
seeks, he seeks to find the balance.
We have a very similar segment on off campus, and if you were wrong, put the left hand up and admit when you were wrong. I don't mind you giving yourself an attaboy, but also like you have to say, God, like boy, did I miss on this one. Like mine last year, NC State. I was so high on NC State. The defense they had coming back, Devin Leary coming back. I didn't know Devin Leary was going to play 5 games
and suck in those 5.
I had no idea. He sucked in 4 of them for sure. I didn't know that, right? I thought they were maybe outside chance to get into the CFP because they had everybody on a defense that was a top 25 defense coming back. They won 8 games last year, all right? That's a miss, okay? So I'm just saying, let the people know when you were wrong as well. And maybe why you were wrong, what went wrong.
If that happens, I'll let y'all know. But until then, Taylor, you can shut the hell up. We're just having fun. All right, let's go to break. We got Munchies coming up with Chef Michael Johnson next here on OTB.
OTB, OT.
CentralPlumbing.org, 925-8552, 925-8552, CentralPlumbing.org, CentralPlumbing.org, 925-8552. For all of your plumbing needs, go to your one-stop plumbing shop. They're the best, man. They've been at it for 50 years, y'all. So, even though Taylor would probably say those 50 years mean nothing, I think that resume matters, and so I would say trust CentralPlumbing.org, who's been proven over time to be the best. CentralPlumbing.org, 925-8552.
Go to the website today. Remember, it's not only in emergencies. Can they help you in an emergency? Of course they can. 24/7 means 24/7. 7. That's 365 as well. It can be a holiday, doesn't really matter. They can come out and help you in that emergency, but they can do more for you as well. If you're looking to remodel at your home or business, they can come in. They can take care of that. Get that consultation set up today. If you want to go Tangless with Tangless Water Heater, never run out of hot water again. Calls it to plumbing. CenterPlumbing.org.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Scooncha, fall in the air. Fall is right around the corner, which means fall fishing is, which means it's time for you to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service in a bunch of different ways. You want a custom stair job, you can have a ton of fun out there on the water. They can do that. What about a spot lock trolling motor? So you stay right where you need to in casting lines. Or sonar that's let you see the fish under the water before you cast. All of your maintenance needs as well. For 38 years, they've been at it and will continue to do so. The Sherman family of front-to-back boat service.
Oh, hey, what's up? It's Big D and Bubba, 100.7 The Tiger Morning Show. We'd love for you to join us every weekday, 4 a.m. till 9 a.m.
Yeah, everything you want in a show. Country music. We got laughs. We got celebrity in-studio guests. We just need you.
Join us every weekday morning, 4 a.m. to 9 a.m., right where it all started.
That's right. Louisiana's country station, 100.7 The Tiger.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
Moscona inviting you to join us for Thursday's AFR, presented by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. Saints joint workouts with the Chargers in L.A. We'll have updates for you. Join us for Thursday's AFR, 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
OTB OT with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
Doesn't it just never penetrates my brain? This conversation doesn't?
Never. Like the old line, you dirty rat, you killed my brother.
No.
From the old movie. I think it's Cass Timberlake who said it.
Now I'm kind of remembering us talking about this, but I don't remember the actual saying itself.
Yeah.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back to OTB right now. It's time for our favorite part of each Thursday and a lot of people's favorite parts of the week, and that is when we are joined by Chef Michael Johnson, who joins us for Munchies to answer all your culinary queries. Chef, what's going on, man? How are we doing today?
Good, brother. How are you?
I am doing well. I probably need to get better headphones. I can barely hear you. It's not you, it's me. It's my headphones. Get your Munchies questions in the chat. Chef, give us a camp update. How's it going?
It's exciting. The guys are handling the heat really well. Things are methodical and very, in my opinion, they're moving very well.
So have we hit that flow zone that we were kind of touching on last week? I know the beginning was just a kind of unending grind. Then you said you started to find some sort of rhythm. How are you from a mental standpoint, you and the staff right now?
Yeah, we're just grinding. We actually, after camp goes right into Sunday through Sunday, and then Monday morning we have school starts. So we aren't over until next weekend. And actually, next weekend there's a couple of practices and a couple of meals. So we're not focused on the end of camp. We're focused on actually Labor Day weekend when we travel. So there's still a lot of work to be done, and so we're just nose in it and trucking on.
Is it only football right now, or is there other sports coming through the dining hall right now? Because I never know. Like, for us as football players, like, we only think that we're on campus because, like, you just don't see other students until that first day of school, and it feels like you're isolated, you're by yourself. But do you have other sports rolling through right now as well?
Yes, soccer and volleyball are actually training, and I think soccer starts this weekend with their first game, or this week with their first game. So, anybody that's in direct competition quickly here, moving into school is being fed as well, and that's soccer. That's soccer and
so
volleyball
is that separate, Chef? Sorry to cut you off there. Is that separate? Like, you have like a separate, because training camp, like, you're losing so much weight out there in football, and you probably had to have a little bit different foods, maybe even some foods that have a little bit more fat on them or something like that. I don't know. I don't want to speak out of turn, but like, do you have a separate menu for those sports that right now they're getting ready for their season, so they kind of need those other foods?
So actually, everybody's eating the same meal, and we kind of, we keep some lean foods out. There are going to be a handful of football guys that are trying to lean, and so it kind of lends itself into a leaner program. But it's not necessarily to say that those athletes on soccer and volleyball are on a lean program. A lot of them are still trying to build muscle mass, so it still lends itself well to what some of those heavier proteins are. So the dietitians are all over the top of that, and we just make sure that there's a variety there and that everybody's eating healthy. Yeah.
Hashtag Munchies. Chef Bilbo wants to know, how do I safely fry a cheese block to where I don't ruin the cheese?
Oh, Lord. I've never actually deep fried a cheese block before, man.
That feels like Fat Boy special right
feels
there.
Feels great, actually.
Yeah.
Does that come with husky jeans in a diaper?
Well, and I can't say this. When you're deep frying something, and cheese, I would imagine would be similar to. Again, I've never actually done this, but anytime you take something freezing cold and put it into a fryer, there's going to be an adverse reaction to it, right? So it may be that the temperature's too cold. If you try to warm it to room temperature and bread it that way, so that it's already kind of lukewarm and it's not having such a radical reaction. But honestly, I've never deep fried a cheese block before. It's just.
Is it like, when you make a fried mozzarella stick, do you bread it first? Is that how it maintains its integrity, right?
Yeah, and in that case, you're freezing it too, right? So it's going into the fryer frozen, so that the inside of the outside is frying, and by the time the outside goes golden, the inside is going ooey gooey. But if you're talking about a large cheese block, if that thing's frozen on the inside, you're going to be deep frying for 20 minutes. And so, I have to think that, if you go from room temperature with it being breaded, by the time the inside gets ooey gooey, you want that outside to be golden brown at the same time. So, I think that's going to take longer. Maybe turn your fryer down to 325 or 315 or 310, something like that. Like when I cook the larger, thicker pieces of chicken, I turn my fryer down to like 310 and let it go longer until it gets golden brown, and it takes a little bit longer, but that brown is perfect when the meat is cooked to the bone.
Hashtag Munchies. Did you have a follow-up, T?
No.
Okay, sorry. Red Lobster has cheddar biscuits. Does LSU have crawfish biscuits?
We've made crawfish biscuits before, yeah, or like what they call. Oh gosh, I forget the name of, but where you pistolets or whatever, where you stuff.
Oh, I
them with
love
the
a
crawfish.
pistolet.
Yeah. Oh man, yeah. And we don't do it too much because baked goods don't. It's more of a comfort food than it is a nutritious food. Something that offers nutrition to the diet. We do baked goods because it's comfortable. Muffins and stuff like that. And then of course we do like pizza every day. But breads, it's kind of like a beer. It's almost like an empty carbohydrate or something. It's just it has some value, but not as much as like other grains and stuff does.
Hashtag Munchies. Fonz Fonzarelli asks, would you use butter or beef tallow for a Yorkshire pudding?
Probably beef tallow. Just traditional. Butter has a there's like within it has the fat solids in it. And, there's actually a little bit of water in there, so fat, if you will, and I think you're probably going to get a better response from it.
Daniel Basham, hashtag Munchies. I'm in a jambalaya cook-off happening on Saturday. Any last-minute spices or ingredients I can add to help me win?
That attention, love, and detail. You know what I mean? Like I have some spices I like to put into mine. They're like shallot powder and leek powder, stuff that is a little bit more difficult to find. It's onion with a little twist. And and I hate to give my brother props on this. It just kills me to do this, but he'll cook his pork ahead of time and like a pulled pork dish and stew it, and then put that back into his jambalaya. But I don't know if it's a competition, they may not allow you to do that. So I'm not sure that he'll be able to pull that off. But get your pork in early so that it's pulling apart and shredding or getting soft. I don't really care for the pork when it's firm and chewy. I don't think anybody does. So get your pork in early and let it fall apart.
I would also say this, Chef. I mean, should he not be concerned? It is Thursday, right? Like, you got to just execute what you know. It feels like a little too late to make changes to the game plan.
Yeah, well, I mean, executing, and yet you have a point there. Some people are willing to take that extra step, and when it pays off in dividends, and that's how some people win. But a lot of people will go for what's comfortable, and this is Louisiana. Sometimes that extra strange thing doesn't always reverberate with all human beings. So you're always taking a risk when you do so. Yeah.
Hashtag Munchies. Ben Levy says, I have some nice thick pork chops. I normally butter-based, but I'm bored of that. Any suggestions on something new to try with these bone-in chops?
If you've never brined a pork chop, I would try brining it, man. It holds the liquids in, it holds the juice in. I anytime I cook pork chops, I will brine them because it just turns out a heck of a lot juicier. And it doesn't have to be anything crazy, like it's salt, water, and sugar for the basics. And then you can put seasonings in there to take it any different way, and that it just keeps it from drying out. Even if you deep fry it, it'll keep it from drying out. It just turns out a heck of a lot better. So I would try brining it.
Hashtag Munchies. I don't want to run my gas stove for 24 hours to make ramen broth. Is it safe to try to do it in the crock pot?
Yeah, I think so. It's if you have it on high and there's a little bit of action in there, I think so for sure. If you can
so go ahead, Jeff.
If you're using bones, it benefits to like bake the bones or roast the bones ahead of time. If you're using beef bones or something to start that heated process and get the gelatins and stuff moving out of them.
Hashtag Munchies. Does Chef use salt with his watermelon?
I do and I don't. Sometimes I do and sometimes I don't. I love sweet watermelon. But every once in a while I'll get a hankering for it, and I will. I've said this before. I'll wrap prosciutto around melon, which is kind of salty, and it's pork fat, so there's nothing wrong with that.
You like pork fat?
What? Yeah. Wait, Jeff, help me out here. Are we in? I know summer is always prime watermelon season, but it feels like especially these last 2 weeks, the watermelons have been hitting extra hard. Is this the actual prime peak of watermelons right now?
Yeah, it depends on the heat and the weather, right? A lot of it does. Like we had yellow watermelons early. They're an earlier season watermelon, and in order to get might be a little bit early, but July definitely into August. But it also depends on the rain, So I think part of the reason is here when plants are stressed and there's no rain, that's when they provide fruit. And man, I got to tell you, like we've had some really sweet watermelons in. And I hate to attribute this awful weather to good watermelons, but yeah.
Okay, but isn't that kind of a beautiful, one of God's little silver linings? You're going to feel like you're burning in hell, but you're going to have the best watermelon you've ever had before in your life. I'll take it. I'm kind of into it.
Just need a little prosciutto now.
Hashtag Munchies. Favorite baked potato toppings?
I'm kind of one of those guys, I like chili and cheese and sour cream. And I'll put some pickles on there. Honestly, man,
sounds great.
Yeah,
I love chili.
That actually made me hungrier than anything. Just some pickles and chili and everything on a baked potato right now. Damn. Hashtag Munchies. He's asked it a couple times, so I'll ask it. Best cold brew coffee recipe. Any secret ingredients?
I'm not really a cold brew guy. I'm a warm hot coffee guy. I just it's one of those things I was taught when I was younger that hot liquids in the morning helps fight off sickness and keeps sore throats away and stuff like that.
Wow.
I've always been a hot coffee guy.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, don't y'all have a cold brew like in the locker room or something? I remember seeing that
in the training room. They do. Yeah, it's on a nitrous system too, and I can't say that I only drink hot coffee, but
in a pinch, I'll do a cold brew.
So wait, y'all have nitro cold brew just ready to roll?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you got to make it through the day, brother.
Thank you.
It's
Yes.
a long day.
Yes. People that judge me for how many cups of coffee I drink, I am talking for 6 hours a day, and you got to make it through the day because when that 6 hours in, Chef, you got to go coach flag football. When that ends, you got to come home and continue to dad.
Right.
So don't judge me for how many cups of coffee I drink.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a place I think it's out of Omaha that they put cold brew in like pony cakes, and it hooks up to a nitrous system, and it's quite a convenience, that's for sure.
Hashtag Munchies best bread pudding topper.
Chocolate chips, maybe I don't mind like a praline kind of topping.
Ooh.
And then like a rum sauce for sure. It's got to have some rum sauce with it.
Rohit Calva says hashtag Munchies. Whenever I try and follow a baking recipe, my dough always seems to turn out too gooey, even when I add the prescribed amount of flour. Why is that?
Gosh, they're not going to like this answer, but I almost have to be there to see what's going on because like humidity outside impacts that. Like sea level impacts that. There's so many variables that goes into baking that a lot of stuff happens. It's a chemical reaction, right? And so without seeing exactly what's going on, it's really difficult to troubleshoot exactly what's happening.
Can you just add more flour?
Yeah, adding more flour is kind of the common sense thing to do. But again, I would need to look at it to see how gooey it is. And some people write recipes carelessly. Just to be honest with you, I don't know where the recipe came from, but some people will write the recipes from their grandma's recipe book, and like grandma might have been holding out some stuff, just for a secret.
Yeah,
I know people that do that.
Yeah.
So, I think the sensible thing to do is keep adding flour until you get it to the point to where it's not sticky. But again, I'd have to watch it.
Chef Michael Johnson, LSU executive chef, deep in the throes of camp, making it happen. You're your favorite athletes and just an unending font of knowledge here on OTB. Chef, thank you so much, man.
Appreciate you guys. Take care.
Yes, sir. Yeah. You too. Remind you, go to RejuveMeMedical.com. Restore me, refuel me, rejuve me. You go to Rejuve Me Medical and look, man, if you maybe hormone replacement therapy is for you, maybe it's not. Maybe a little semaglutide, some metabolization optimization, but it's not just that. Like the bottom line, if you're gonna fight the effects of aging, whether it's strength loss, fatigue, insomnia, mood and memory problems, confidence, sexual dysfunction, thyroid deficiency, weight gain. All of this can be addressed with your friends over there, Rejuve Me, Baton Rouge, Metairie, Slidell, now Shreveport as well. RejuveMeMedical.com. More OTB next.
OTB, OT. Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
There it is, the extra mile. On the border of expected and extraordinary. For those willing to go further. Like vans customized for work or play. With safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Hello, Samantha, dear, I hope you're feeling fine. And it won't be long until I'm with you all the time. But until then, I spend my money up right down on my last dime. Come on, in Baton Rouge. I'm ready, what you put me on through. Gotta send my love down to
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
Charles Hannegriff joined me and Jimmy out for the next edition of Live at Lunch from Louis Cafe just outside the gates of LSU. Dwayne Colucci's with us, Matt Humans is with us, and Jacques Doucet from WAFB. Live at Lunch, 11 a.m. weekdays on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
On Thursday, August 24th, the Queen, formerly Hollywood Casino, presents a drone light show. The show will begin just after 8:30 p.m. Come downtown or park anywhere close to where you can have a clear view of the sky above River Road near the Capitol. Then after the show, head over at 9 p.m. when the doors officially open at the Queen Casino.
OTB, OT, with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
Dance, Orlovsky, dance. Welcome back, OTB. All right, we have the Dion clip. We're going to play without sound. Jake, you haven't seen it, right?
I have not.
And then we'll play it with sound when Dion comes in. Here is from Colorado practice yesterday, Jake. As you can see, running back is thrown on the ground. Look at our boy, the 6'10 beast coming up. But then, of course, like bees swarming, the defense starts to run over. A few offensive players kind of trickling their way in. Oh, Taylor, are you triggered by the fact they have their Instagrams on their back?
I was looking last night. I was trying to figure out what that was.
Wait, does this get better?
They're all handles. No, that is a weak
fight.
It's a weak fight.
God.
It's a weak fight. But now, look, but
I'm gonna send you another video, Taylor.
But
Hold
now
up.
people are getting mad at Dion, saying this next part's bad leadership here.
This is it.
Over there, and you got to keep teammate fighting. What they do there? Nowhere. What they do there?
Not here.
In one fight, we all fight. You understand that?
No, sir.
I don't want to see y'all walking off when somebody's fight.
Yes, sir.
Never again.
Just walk off.
All right, come on.
I was in there, man.
Yeah, I mean, I was in that. That's a bad sign for Colorado. That's a under on the 4.5 over/under. I was in that.
That guy's
thing.
never been in a fight in his life.
No, he was way.
I was in there.
He had adrenaline pumping for a pushing match.
God, that was a weak ass fight. And then I was in there.
I know. But I agree with Dion.
Yeah, I do.
If one's fight, everybody fights. It's a brotherhood thing. And let the coaches worry about the discipline part of it and making sure that fights don't happen too often and take away from the practice. But you don't walk away when your boy. I do love the 6'10 tackle. So at the very beginning, you can see the edge of it. The running back gets thrown to the ground well after the play. And the tackle, there was no hesitance. He was immediately up in there. Which that's correct. That's how you have.
And he had
your
the
brother's
energy
back.
of like, I'm bigger than you. You can't do anything.
Which I did love.
You know what I'm
He
saying?
was like,
Yeah.
6'10", probably too tall, unfortunately. But we'll see. Maybe not.
You better have some bend. So I'm trying to find this fight. I also have a video that, can we play with sound, Taylor? We good to go? All right. This might not be for everybody, but by God, it is for me. Okay. This is my former teammate, my captain, Phillip Rivers, getting NC State fired up.
At NC State, you play hard, you play tough, and you play together. And when I say play hard, it's everything you do hard. Off-season conditioning, you lift weights hard. If you're going to do 8 reps of something, do it hard. You got to be tough. You got to be mentally and physically tough. Wolfpack ain't for soft. It ain't for soft people. It ain't for mentally weak people. You got to be tough. Lastly, and my favorite thing about football, favorite thing has been many years, but it's my favorite thing, Clayton, Dan, and that's why I love seeing those guys last night, is together. You got to love each other. In the fourth quarter, with my hands in the dirt as an offensive guard, and I know my center needs me to give him a little bit because he can't reach that shade. He's struggling reaching that shade. Then I'm going to give him a little more because I want to help him, because I love him. And I want to win, but because I love him. And dadgummit, whoever's back there playing quarterback, I'm not letting him get hit because I love him. You're in 3 technique, and you better heat up the double team so the Mike linebacker can hit that ISO right in the mouth, right? Do it because you love the guy back there. I want him to make the tackle so bad that I'm not dare letting this guy come off on me on a double team, right? Can I play today, Coach? Hard to be in here. I wish I could suit up and play today. Get after some of you guys on defense. I'll wear y'all out.
You know how hard it is, and I'm glad you picked it up on that.
I mean,
because one of my friend groups sent that to me, and I said, you know how hard it is to say dadgummit and not be corny?
Yeah.
But my man
exactly.
gets it done.
I agree.
I loved it, and I wanted to play that because
I run through a wall for him right now.
Because he, like, what he said, like, that's factual. Like, he loves his teammates, but I loved how he kept getting more fired up as he went.
Yeah, he's lathering himself up. He was getting into
by the end of it, that man wanted to go out there and play a little bit. So, hey, you know, a lot of times it's like you hear speeches and you don't have to use all the words. You can say dadgummit sometimes. It's about how you deliver the speech, and that's what great leaders do. They get their teammates ready to go.
More OTB. Close out the show with Ask the Bench next.
OTB, OT.
Speaking of being a part of a great team, that's exactly what you can join. If you check out ITI Technical College, iticollege.edu, again, local family owned right here in Baton Rouge for 50 years. And the family aspect is important because they treat their students like family. And we're talking small classroom sizes, right? We're talking that you sit down with a counselor, they kind of advise you on, okay, what's your schedule like? We have day class, they help you make it work there. They ask, what kind of avenues are you interested in? Help find what you enjoy the most, right? They help set you up with mock interviews, so you know how to present yourself, internships, pathways to careers. The point is they prepare you for life with a love and attention detail that you don't get from a lot of colleges, especially not these national trade schools. ITI Technical College, ITI College at EDU, right here in Baton Rouge, y'all. For 50 years they've been at it. Go see them off of Airline Highway. Just do the introduction and see if it's right for you. ITI Technical College.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Officially, it's a fridge full of beer. Unofficially, it's free AC. Coors Light, the official beer of everything unofficial.
It was a humid day, barefoot children play, looking for that summer shade. Time just slips away. Oh, Louisiana, some kind of hold on me. Like cypress stumps, your roots are planted deep inside of me.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows?
Hey, son, join me for a Thursday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show presented by Rouse's. We'll chat with Luke Johnson out in La La Land with the Saints. Hunt Palmer Show, 1 to 3 weekdays, 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
OTB OT with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
As the Bench brought to you by Cold Curse Live, Vizzy Hard Seltzer and Blue Moon Light Sky Citrus Wheat. Ask the Bench. I'm leaving for Orange Beach this afternoon. What should be my drink of choice? Ranch water. I've been loving some tequila lately. There's a Baton Rouge tequila now. I can't remember off the top of my head. I'll talk about it. I enjoyed it last week, and it was very tasty.
Yeah, you talked about it yesterday, but you couldn't think of the name of it?
It was earlier this week. Yeah, I can't remember the name of it. I'll figure it out. I thought it was interesting to have a technically local tequila. Now, it's whatever. It's made mixer, but it's local. As the bench, who should get number 18 this year?
Ooh, I feel like there's a couple of people, which is always a good thing. Josh Williams would be a great candidate for number 18. I think his story, how he got here to where his career is at right now. He was at Media Day, so he's certainly a team leader as well. That feels like a pretty good candidate.
Ask the bench. Are y'all going to the scrimmage Saturday? I'm not. This is the final lake weekend, unfortunately. So no, I'm not.
Man, I've been telling everybody that we were going together. Truly.
Well, Toledo Ben calls, dude. What are you gonna do?
I go to practice.
Ask the bench. If EA's NCAA came out and had nothing to do with current players and their name, image, and likeness, would you still buy it? Yes. This is one of the few times when players actually don't have any leverage. Like, you don't want to be in the game, Caleb Williams, I don't really care. Like, that would maybe be one of the only guys that people would be upset about. Otherwise, it's like, whatever. Plus, people do Dynasty mode a lot of times and play with fake players anyway. Ask the bench, did Jake have to stop himself from running through the studio wall after the River speech?
Yeah, it gets me fired up. That's my quarterback, man. That's my guy.
Ask the bench. Where should I go gamble this week? DraftKings Sportsbook app. DraftKings Sportsbook app. Remember, you got the big fight going down this week, and if you bet $5 on UFC 292, you get $150 in free bets if you're a new customer. So if you're a new customer, you download DraftKings, use the promo code Baton Rouge. It's all one word. Bet $5 on UFC 292, and you get $150 in free bets. And as always, turning customers, you can do like the same game parlays and all of that. Hashtag Ask the Bench.
Hey, Taylor, do you see the fight that I sent you? I think I finally found it. And it gives you an idea of if you played for Rich Bisaccia, what we're talking about. Because if you didn't get involved in the fight, it was going to be a problem.
We can revisit that tomorrow.
Okay. F myself.
No, I'm saying we have like 30 seconds left.
Yeah, it's 30-second video.
Oh, okay.
Nope.
Must be 21 or older, physically present in Louisiana. Select person only. Bonus expires 7 days after issuance. Eligibility, product restrictions apply. Terms of sportsbook.draftkings.com/MMA terms. Licensed partner, Golden Nugget Lake Charles. Game problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER, 1-800-428-3537. Sorry, I had to get that in so we don't get yelled at.
For sure.
Favorite team to play with in NCAA? Washington this year.
OTB.
There it is, the extra mile. On the border of expected and extraordinary. For those willing to go further. Like vans customized for work or play. With safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.